So we are live now.
Thank you, Tofumi. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, Shokpe. How are you? How has been your day?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing too?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jesse Tofumi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Welcome. How has been your day?
Fine, thank you. How about you? I can hear you.
Oh, what I said how has been your day? I think my network is having issues.
Good evening, everybody. So I hope we are good. Let's just wait for a bit more time for more people to join. So today is for panel session on maximizing available resources for career development. So we'll be talking on LinkedIn, optimization, networking, then CV and cover letter. So it's a panel discussion. You have said that people to join. So I hope
Hello.
Good afternoon, Dolapo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Oh,
Yinka.
God. Good afternoon. So we're just waiting for more people to join before we start.
Okay.
So sorry, I was on a call. I'm back.
No problem. Just waiting for me. We're just waiting for more people to come on the call, then we can start.
Okay.
I literally cannot hear anything. Okay, let's start it.
Good afternoon, Jeremiah. Can anybody hear me? Hi.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So we'll just start for today. And sorry that we're starting a little late. We're trying to wait for people to like come online and join the meeting. So we'll just start with the let me say I'll start with LinkedIn. I'll start to talk about LinkedIn. So actually I don't know so much. What I can
Chicken
say.
by Papa.
Can you guys hear me? I think my network is bad.
Yes, 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 yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I said good afternoon, welcome everybody. So I'll just start with LinkedIn. So I don't let me say I'm not a professional in that sense. Like, okay, maybe I write so many articles and all that on LinkedIn, but at least I know a little, and okay, I know some maybe some do's and don'ts of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is just like, how will I put it? So LinkedIn is like the social network for professionals, you get. So the normal way that, okay, yes, there are so many type of social networks like Twitter, Facebook and all that, but for LinkedIn it's more or less like a professional network. So it's more or less a place where you can meet people with like minds that are in your field, you get. So you meet people that have the same interest with you, you get follow top professionals in the field. So let me say LinkedIn is just majorly for let me say meeting with people that are in the field that you are also that you are interested in, and seeing, oh, what are these people up to, what are the recent developments in the field. However, for LinkedIn, let me say there's supposed to be there, like all social media accounts, you have a profile. But now for LinkedIn, let me say it's more, you have to be more precise. So let me say more I don't know the English to use, but it's not like you cannot just write anything you want to write for LinkedIn, because like if you want people to take you serious, it's like you're going for, it's like when you're working in a corporate organization, there are rules to the corporate world. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you, Inka. Please go on.
Okay, yes. So I said there are rules for like to
Yes.
working in the corporate world. So the thing is, for LinkedIn profile, you cannot just, and even the picture you put, let me say there are some type of pictures you cannot just put. There's supposed to be like a certain way the background of your picture is supposed to be like. So you go to LinkedIn, you see different type of, let me say different type of pictures, but there's supposed to be a picture that is acceptable on WhatsApp and maybe Twitter and Facebook may not really be acceptable on LinkedIn. Not because anybody will pursue you and send you away from LinkedIn if you put a bad picture, but because it's just like be how will I say it's like a presentation. Your picture is like serving as a presentation of yourself. They can't see you, but a picture goes a long way to tell, oh, this is how this person is and everything. So most times I'll be, let me say, ideally, so when you want to take a LinkedIn picture, it's supposed to be a formal picture, you wearing a formal attire. Are we together?
Yes, please. We are together.
So that's the part for the picture part. Then a little about your profile. So to be honest, like I said, it's not like I'm a professional like that for LinkedIn. In fact, I don't think I've really posted anything on that. But for LinkedIn, I think for the profile part now, the thing is, of course, you don't want to write your name and say, oh, sexy something or something. You want to be professional. Like I said, it's a professional networking this thing. So you will not want to say you not say want to say maybe I don't know different type of nicknames. You not want to use your nickname. You want to use a name that is professional. Probably your first name first and your last name last. Like okay, for example, my
Yeah.
name is Olainka. My name is Olainka, so I want to use Olainka Ariola. You get, but I don't know. Some people use Ariola Olainka. My surname is Ariola, so some people can use Ariola. But in a way, like recently, for me, I've been seeing like okay, it's first name first, so Olainka, then Ariola. Then for let me say, okay, there's a part called summary too. So there's a part that it's just like how would I say you're supposed to just like summarize, oh, what are the things that you're interested in, the reason who are you? Like, what are you about? The same way you have something like that on Twitter. I don't really know much about Facebook. WhatsApp, okay, I think there's a part where after your number or something, you write about. Yes, exactly. So the same way that is on LinkedIn too. So the summary is supposed to be like, okay, what you're interested in and all that. And also, I think there's a part too that tells you, oh, you pick these industries
Hello,
that you're
Yinka.
interested in, so that. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you check the chat box?
Okay. So
I can't hear you again.
sorry, I was trying to check something. So let me just stop here for the meantime. Then Dalakwa would take over. Then we'll just ask the questions. Then the panel will answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Yinka. Good evening, everyone. Sorry that we are starting late, as Yinka said. We were trying to wait for everyone to be on board, even though we are not still complete yet. And I hope people that are not on this call give reasonable excuse to either Kele or Tofumi. So here's how today is going to go. If by any chance you can't hear me, just let me know, please, because I will not know. So here's how today is going to go. We're having a panel discussion, and we already have our panelists on board. That's I'll be introducing them. You can just say hi. Kelly. Kelly, are you here? Wow.
Maybe he's having network issues.
Okay, everyone can hear me. Okay, that's nice. Then we also have Olajumoke.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Good
You can
evening.
give a brief introduction of yourself, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good evening, everybody.
Good
Can you hear
evening.
me?
Yes.
I'm Olajumoke Oyeyemi, a student of management and accounting.
Welcome.
Yeah, your post also in SFC.
I'm the head of finance.
Okay, so and we also have Tofumi, but I guess we all know Tofumi and Yinka and Kelly already. They have been the popular face that we've been having since. So let's just go straight to the point, so I will not waste our time. So this is how we should go. We will start with LinkedIn, then we'll go to the cover letter, then CV, then networking in general. So I'm going to be asking questions, and each panelist would share their view if they have any view on it. And if we have our questions,
I can't hear you. Am I the only one?
here as an attendee, please do also drop a question in the chat box. Just drop whatever question you have in the chat box. That would help us a lot, because we are not in your mind, so we don't know the question that is bothering you in these topics I've said. I'm just trying to ask the generic question that bothers almost everybody. So if you are not eating your own question, drop it in the chat box for the panelists to answer.
Yes.
Did you all get that? Okay. All right. So let's start from LinkedIn. I don't know. There's this general saying that LinkedIn is for people that are proud or something, or people that want to show off. I've heard a lot of people say it. I don't believe in it, but I've heard a lot of people say it. So can I just hear you guys' view on it? Like Yinka and Jumoke, what's your guys' view on it? Like LinkedIn is for people that used to show off.
Let
Anyone?
Jumoke go first. I'll go after Jumoke. I think Jumoke wants to talk.
Okay. About that, actually, people will say that LinkedIn is a let me just say, for proud people, just like Instagram, the way celebrities will post pictures of their car, of their houses, and so on. Let me just say, LinkedIn is just like a platform for, let me just say, a professional bragging platform. So basically, it depends on how you see LinkedIn, because some people may see LinkedIn as a social media for bragging, where people say, okay, I've achieved this, I've achieved that. But necessarily, to me, I will not see like that, because all those things that people share on LinkedIn, it just like give people, let me just say, give them the chance to dream more. Because I don't know, maybe you guys follow all these City African Scope, all those on pages whereby they will be talking about how someone started for maybe being a student to how they become who they are today. So all those things are not meant to, like, let me just say, discourage us. They are meant to like impact us, like make us dream more. That's the way me I see LinkedIn. I don't see it as a platform for bragging or boasting about anything you've achieved. It's just like to give people the let me just say the drive to dream more, to work harder. Because basically I will always feel that at times I'll be scared about my career, I'll be scared about this. But if I read some stuff on LinkedIn, I'll just be like, wow, this person just started little. This person is not even up to like me, or this person is still going to this place, or all those things will just keep giving you like a kind of light. It will keep shining light to your direction, and then you will still have like reason to like keep going, because okay, you know that okay, this particular person started like this. This person did not go to school. Just like if you know that Vincent Adeoba or his Vincent story, when you read something like that, you really like that guy that didn't even have parents, and me, I have parents, and he got to where he is today. I'm going to get there. I will go even beyond him. So that's the way I view LinkedIn, not as a professional bragging app or anything. Hope you guys understand what I said.
Yes.
That's all I have to say on that.
Okay, let me take it up from where Jumoke stopped. So, just like Jumoke said, for me, I think it's just like a site created for you to network with professionals. Of course, the thing is, when you see people that have that have achieved a lot, you get to, how will I say it? You get to feel intimidated sometimes. Because sometimes me, I'm like, what have I even achieved in this life? You get so for me, I think it's just based on how you see the app. The same way, like how will I say it on Twitter? Like, sorry, I'm using Twitter that is not professional, but I feel like okay, some of us can relate. So on Twitter now, for some people, what they majorly do is just like how will I say, drag other people, say funny things, look for people to abuse, comment on this person's post and all that. Fine, that's the way some people use Twitter. And I've seen some people that use Twitter that they don't even, how will I say it? The people they follow, it's like the way the people they follow goes a long way to determine the type of things that they will see and all that. So I feel like any social media platform, it depends on how you use it. The same way some of us use WhatsApp for only personal things, and some people use it for business too. That's the same way I feel like okay, LinkedIn. For some people, it may look as if no, these people just came here to intimidate me and all that. And for some people, it may serve as a source of inspiration. But me, I feel like for us on this call, it should serve as a source of inspiration. I don't think that we should see it as a form of intimidation or anything. I feel like you should see that, oh, this person has achieved this and all that. I really want to be like this. I wish I can do this and all that. It should serve as a push. You get? And I think another thing that I want to say for LinkedIn is, for me, I don't think that it's a way. I feel like, of course, yes, some people may be proud. Let me put it in that way. But it's not like they are proud. Some of them just don't have time. And some are proud because people are different. But I feel like it's also a source for you to like network with professionals in the field, people that you may never not be able to talk to on a normal day, that you can't even say one word when you see them. Through LinkedIn, you may be able to talk to those type of people. I think that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, Inka. I think I have a little bit to chip in. Amanda, okay. Okay, now let me start from, I don't want to start from LinkedIn now. Let me go back. Okay. I think we're all familiar with when To Go came in. When To Go came in, everybody were like, okay, wow, he's very nice. It actually helped, actually encourage like chats. Everyone just chatting. I mean, when pinging, BlackBerry, even before WhatsApp came in, so you could tell, you could imagine how it was then. So um after a while, LinkedIn came out. So I will see LinkedIn as is a kind of privilege. It's a kind of privilege for us because okay, there's Facebook. We know there's Facebook. We know there is Instagram. We know there is Twitter. Even back then when Eskimi and all stuff we're actually fully on board. Now we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn actually exempts, actually cut out. Or let me use the word shortlist. Actually shortlisted out those those set of people that we might not really want because LinkedIn is a professional social networking platform where you can all meet folks, you can all meet people of like minds, you can easily network. So in the case, even in the professional settings, fine. No, there are different aspects in a particular profession. Even in the finance profession, we all know that it's broken down into several opportunities. Okay, even for example, if I decide okay, I'm vying for an investment banking position, right? Like I want to build a career in investment banking. LinkedIn does not just provide the platform where you can associate yourself with finance enthusiasts or finance folks or experts in that field. It's actually streamlined to a particular part that you actually want. So it's a privilege for us, I would say, in this our generation. It's a privilege because it's actually streamlined. You can streamline us into a particular field that we want, this is the exact place. Okay, we want to meet folks around, we want to network with people around this field, we want to meet like minds. So that's how I see LinkedIn as basically as a privilege for us. Thank you.
Hi, I think Dolapo is no more on the call. I think he will join back soon. So, does any other person have anything to add, or maybe a question about LinkedIn? So we'll just continue. Then when it comes back, we can continue from wherever we stop. Hi, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can only
I'm
hear
not
you.
else.
Okay,
Okay.
let's start with. Sorry, Inka, hello, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Let's start with this. Like, is there anyone here who is not familiar with LinkedIn? Like, if you're not familiar with LinkedIn, just signify. Or let's say if you're not on LinkedIn, just signify. You can just raise up your hand so we'll know. All right, no one. And I guess you're all familiar with LinkedIn. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Since no one raising up hand, okay, I'm assuming that we are all on LinkedIn. Like we all have an account on LinkedIn, right? So let me start with this. We are just okay about 14 or less. I want each and every one of us to actually share our experience, just very short, within 1 minute. Very just summarize it all. Your experience or how you felt when you first open an account in LinkedIn. So I want to just share your experience. Like, how was it like for you? Like when you just came into LinkedIn, wow, you began about LinkedIn and you finally open an account. You finally start seeing people's posts and status and pictures and what have you. I want you guys to just share your experience, like what you, yeah, your experience. So since no one raised up my hand, I'm assuming we are all on LinkedIn, and I'll be calling anyone, please. At least this is day 3. We should all be familiar with ourselves by now. So I'm starting with Ayofe Oluwa Olani. Just very brief one within less than a minute. Just tell us how you feel, how you felt like when you came into LinkedIn. Ayofe Olani, please.
Okay. Apologies for the disconnection. I've changed to a better network now. Kelly, you were saying something, right?
Yeah, so actually asked after Yinka shared her view about what she thought about LinkedIn, what she thinks about LinkedIn and Jumoke, I asked the question that if there's anyone that's not familiar with LinkedIn. So yeah, and no one raised up hand. And I asked the question if anyone is not on LinkedIn, if anyone doesn't have an account in LinkedIn. So nobody raised up their hand. So I'm now asking. So I'm assuming we are all on LinkedIn, right? I'm not asking how was our experience like when we first came on LinkedIn, when we open an account with LinkedIn, and when we start checking feeds, just like we check feeds on Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms. I want to ask, like, let's just share our experience when we came on LinkedIn within 1 minute or less. Are
Oh,
you with
that's
me now?
actually a very great idea.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it's
and I want to be calling names because I believe by now we should all be familiar with ourselves. This is day 3, right? So I want to be calling names. And I first of all call Ayofe Oluwaolani. I don't know why you are not unmuting your mic to speak. So I will call on that person, please.
Oh wait,
Um,
Kelly, before you call another person, Kelly, can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you, please. Move on.
Okay, yeah, before you call another person, I would just like to say this. Apologies for the noise, the plane is passing. Let the plane pass. I would like to say this. We should not actually feel shy in talking or saying something, even if we feel what we are going to say might not make sense per se. We will still talk on that today. Well, it's good as Kelly said that we should share our experiences, even if it's just anything, even if you don't have anything to say about this, you can unmute your mic and say that, oh
So
yes, I don't
maybe
have
I should
anything
start
to
with
say.
myself. If that's
Yeah, start
allowed.
with yourself. Yeah, okay,
Okay,
yeah.
when I first of all opened an account in LinkedIn, I say I felt it was not the right time because I saw so many profiles, it was top notch. I mean, so many experiences. I was like, what do I want to put there? Okay, what do I want to put there? Is it part 2 or okay? I think I was in part 2. Yeah, I was in 200 level. Is it that would I just put 200 level accounting department of how long grades like that, or I don't have any other thing? It was when I got to understand that it's not really doesn't really matter about how how much you have to put. Just put something. That's the idea. It's just a platform where you can actually sell yourself. I mean, you can just put something there. At least just put something. At least they are different. Fine. So many people's profile can be very discouraging at times. I mean, it's very competitive space. I mean, the finance space. So I felt a bit like I felt a bit I'm looking for the word now. I felt I have a lot to do. Like I felt I have a whole lot to do. I mean, in fact, you don't really post. You can't just say you want to post anything. I mean, it has to be something in relation with whoever is your connection. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like those in your connection, it has to be something related, something that those in your connection is naturally say, oh yeah, I like this. You get it? So I felt like I was not up for it. But later I got to understand that it doesn't actually have to be like that. Whatever you have, just drop it. So as you build yourself, you can always update your LinkedIn. In fact, even with let me just say this out. Even with my when I say my low standard LinkedIn profile, at least I've chatted and I've spoken with some experts in the industry. Like I'm not lying, this for real now. Like I've spoken with them and we actually communicated well. We spoke, we chatted. Like it was cool. So it didn't don't really matter about the kind of thing on my profile. Really, is it that okay? Let me not start mentioning some qualifications now. So that was just my experience. I think I've taken more than one.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. And I know everybody cannot talk, but there's only one person talk. I think Shokpe was raising up his hand. Was he late to
Okay,
listen? Yeah, Shokpe, go ahead, talk.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening,
yeah,
Shokpe.
good evening.
So my question on LinkedIn. So when I joined LinkedIn, what Kele said was actually the same. Like the problem was like, what am I going to put on the platform, like on my profile and everything. So going on, I found out that it's mostly about learning. Like most of the things I'm doing on it, like learning from people actually. So like learning from people, like most of the time when I go online, like maybe I steal people's ideas. Don't know if you want to something like that. So maybe I see okay before I when I joined maybe I didn't even know that you can actually tell people that you are a finance and enthusiast or something like that. I felt that it was just like I am working at this place and how to invest and all of that. I didn't know that you can actually tell me that you're an enthusiast or something and everything. So that most of so it's just learning like I've learned a lot from I've seen some inspirational quotes and posts and everything. So those things, learning, most of the things I've done on LinkedIn, learning till now. So I think that's how my LinkedIn journey has been.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Shokwe. Thank you for saying that. Something just came to my mind that I was supposed to say. Uh, Shokwe made a very strong point. I noticed that some people, when they are getting online on LinkedIn, they are having the mindset of, yes, I have arrived, or they end up comparing themselves with people. And to be honest, that's a very bad way to start LinkedIn. Let me just give you an example now. Oh, wow. Sorry, hold on. Let me just give you an example now. Let's say someone is starting a business, a business, and is comparing himself with someone is starting a cook business, and the person is comparing himself with Coca-Cola. Well, how come these guys are making profit? Why am I not making profit like that? That's the same way when you come online on LinkedIn and you're looking at it and you're feeling oppressed because if you are looking at these guys, let me use an example of someone that we should all know. Yeah, Emmanuel Faith. Emmanuel Faith graduated from OAU and is very popular on LinkedIn now. Someone was discussing with me one day and was like, that what was it doing on LinkedIn? That if you see Emmanuel Faith always posting. And I was laughing that guy, you're a student for crying out loud. You're in 200 level and you're comparing yourself with Emmanuel Faith that is always posting. So I guess that's one major misconception that happens to people when they open their LinkedIn. When they say, I want to get on LinkedIn, they think that okay, once I get on LinkedIn like this now, is to get a job immediately, or is to get start talking with Bill Gates immediately. But the thing about LinkedIn is that it's actually a progression. To be honest, the progression, like the way Shakwe said that when he got there, he was learning. You learn. if you are starting on LinkedIn, even if you're in 400 level and you're just starting the progression, you learn. You can first start with finance enthusiast. Then from there you keep on building yourself. You can start putting. So it's more or less like I don't want to use the word. What do they call this thing? What do they call this thing? Biography. The one that you're writing by yourself. What do they call it? That's not a biography. What do they call it?
Autobiography.
Autobiography, yeah. I know it has a name. It's like you're writing your autobiography. Just put LinkedIn like that. That as you are moving on in life, you are putting it there, and you are also opening yourself to more opportunities. Does anyone want to say that? Any other panelist member?
This guy, let's talk. Let's open up, please. There's nothing to shy about. All right,
Yeah,
Daniel. Wow.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Daniel.
Just to share my bit of experience too. Similar to what Kelly and what Shokwe said. When I opened the account then, it's just very natural for you to look into the accounts of those that has been an existing member. And then you get to look at their profile, and then you start to read from bottom down, and then you're like, oh my God. Yeah, like you're so confused, you get so intimidated immediately. So I had to leave the account for about 3 years. Like I just left it because there was actually nothing to write. What have I achieved? Nothing. And the whole thing about the enthusiast, it has not even come into my conception then. So I left the account for a while. Now, then after a while, when we've been building CV small, that we know we can attach a little thing, then we begin to add. But the major thing about I've noticed on LinkedIn is LinkedIn has been a very good source of inspiration. When you look at some people's profile, and for most people, when they want to celebrate an anniversary or something like that, they get to put a little story of how they started. And then you're going to be like, even my own starting point is even better than this person's starting point. So it means I'm having my future is even brighter, even like with what I have in mind, because you're always inspired by what people are typing, and at times there's nothing to write. I know I'm always sharing. In a day, I can share up to like 20 posts. In fact, I don't have anything. But sharing those things it's just a major source of inspiration. To wrap it up, it's been a major source of inspiration. And you get motivated by people's profile.
Okay, thank you,
That's my
Daniel.
bit.
Like he said, thank you, Daniel. Like he said, it's you're writing as you are achieving. It's not something that we all had this figured it out yet that we have arrived. Even Emmanuel Faith, I'm using Emmanuel Faith because I believe everyone here knew Emmanuel Faith. When Emmanuel Faith started, it was writing about tax. If you've been following Emmanuel Faith on LinkedIn for a long time, it was all about tax. Now it's about HR. So you can see that he's also developing himself. He cannot be comparing himself with Yemi Fashion now. He's a very popular man. He cannot be comparing himself with Yemi Fashion now because he knows he has not gotten there, but he will still get there. So, okay, now can any of the panelist members share? I would also share mine also. Can any of the panelist members share any time he has gotten an opportunity from LinkedIn, or what he did to get the opportunity, or how he went about it? Either Yinka, Kele, or Jumoke.
Wait, okay.
Or let's make it more. Let me add all maybe the best conversation you've had on LinkedIn so far.
Okay. Wait, is it personal or like maybe like something you've seen on LinkedIn? Then okay, you apply for that or something, or like okay, one-on-one conversation with a professional.
Anyone
Then, okay,
that you can share.
Okay. I don't think I have many. Let Kelly or whoever wants to talk first. Then maybe I'll just add something.
Let me go first.
All right,
Okay.
Okay, let me first talk about the part of opportunities. I think on LinkedIn, that's where I saw this thing, maybe Bright Network internship and many other internships like that, and ambassadorship roles. Like the latest one, I forgot, economic group, something like that. That's where I got those internships and
Economic director, EDH.
yeah, and then ambassadorship roles from, and also I was also chance to chat with one woman. I don't know, maybe you guys know the woman, Fumi Omo. So we chatted.
With Fumi. Yeah, I know her.
So, and many other people like that, like Dr. Iwetsi, we talk. So I'm learning from them basically. So it's nice being on LinkedIn, meeting those kind of people who can even give you the chance of being more. And it's not when you are chatting with people like that, you'll be thinking, okay, these people may not reply me because is I even remember one time I chatted with Abraham so but I feel like okay, we don't really have much to say. But now I'm currently chatting with Fumiomo, Dr. Iwetsi, and then we are doing well. Like I'm really learning from those women. So it's
Okay.
actually nice experience on like being on
Hold on,
LinkedIn.
Jumoke. Can you tell us how you started the conversation? Because one of the things I pinned down here, like how did you start the? Let me use career as a woman for example. Now, like how did you start the conversation? A lot of people get that
Okay,
wrong, and once you get that wrong, you've lost the
okay.
conversation from the beginning.
The thing is about pitching yourself. Yes, I remember that time. The reason why I chatted those people up was I think when I feel like I think I need to get internship, I need to do internship because somebody was pushing me to like do internship, physical internship aside from all these online internships. So I was pushed like the person said, go online, go and meet those people, go and chat, go and do this. Me, I don't like because they said that if you want to build a good impression on people on LinkedIn, you cannot go to them and tell them that I need internship from you. They'll be like, okay, it's because of you need internship. That's why you chatted me up. But first of all, I know that I'm looking for internship, but I first pitch myself. I just like, okay, my name is Olaji Mokeriyemi, a student of Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm this, I'm that. You just say a few things about you, and then you also give them why you are chatting with them. You like tell them, okay, Fumiamo, I think then Fumiamo was running a scholarship, so I just used that scholarship to like talk with her very well. Like she's a woman of impact, something like that. So really the conversation was really interesting because she would like to talk with me more because I told her something that like is something that is relating to her like so she will always want to talk to me. So I want to talk to I don't know the network is doing somehow anyway.
Yeah,
So,
Daniel, please mute yourself.
so if you want to talk with somebody on LinkedIn that you don't know, just introduce yourself properly. Don't just say hello. Some people will not reply if you say hello. But if you just go straight to the point, it's not as if you say, I'm looking for internship. You just like, I'm Olajumoke, a penultimate student of management and accounting at the Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm a tax and finance center. I'm making income. You just tell them that, okay, this is who I am. This is what I love doing. I love volunteering. I love doing this. Then you drive their interest in one way or the other. They want to talk with you because they're not okay. You are not just coming here to come and talk in the nonsense. So they will always want to talk with you. That's how it works.
Okay.
For me personally, I don't know of
Yeah.
other people, but I've been
Yeah.
able to
Thank
like
you.
keep the conversation ongoing with those people.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
I'm done.
Thank you, Jumoke. Kelly and Yinka, do you guys have any other thing to add before I pitch in?
I think I have one.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know. Then we had this section with a an expert. I don't know if you guys can still remember. I mean, among the experts now, Emmanuel Grillo. I don't know if you can still remember Yinka or anyone. So after
I
the
remember. I remember.
yeah, so it said some things that actually marvels me. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Okay, let me just try to quote some of the things he said. It was like we should look at our counterparts and let's try to let's try to just guess who will be successful, like looking based on what we are seeing. So that's actually that actually push those kind of words. I mean, he said another thing. It was more like an encouragement, like we should build our professional. How did this say it? Oh, but I'm trying to quote him. I'm trying to
You
quote
mean
him.
like our professional connection, right? Like our friends.
No. Okay, let's just leave that. So he said other things that actually marvels. So I went on LinkedIn and I actually sent him a message. I just introduced myself. I didn't even believe he's going to reply like immediately. It was early in the morning. I just sent him this message. I just introduced myself and he replied immediately. Wow, nice to meet you. And like I was shocked. Me, I referred back to that section we had with him, and it was like, wow, that's great. So what did you learn? So I shared some of the things I learned from him. He asked me how I can actually utilizing those things, and I shared that with him, and it was marvelous. And then he checked my profile immediately. So when he checked my profile, in fact, some of the things in my profile, even my picture, he actually corrected some things. Like he told me, okay, this is actually great. I like this. Then he told me some things that needed to be corrected because yeah, I just shared this because I was shocked that things that I didn't take note about. Just he told me, just open up to me. I think I should correct this. I should put this in place, and I did it immediately. And it was like, wow, nice meeting you. And it has been like, man, it has been very, very awesome. Like I can go to him any day, just chat with him, and he will reply quickly. So that's how I built a connection with him. And up to date, I can still go on my LinkedIn, just just chat him up. The
Okay.
previous chat for him to read through, and that's how we have built our connection right from there.
Okay. So I think from this now, we've gotten two ways to build connection. From what Kelly said, let me rephrase it for us. What Kelly is saying about building connection is true. Probably you attended a session with the person, or you've listened to the person somewhere. That's actually one of the best way of building connection. Sharing from my experience, there was a time we had a session with. I hope can you guys hear me clearly?
Sure, we can hear you.
Okay, there was a time
Yeah.
I attended a session with someone from IBM. IBM is one of the leading firms in technology. Now, during this session, the person was talking. I did not say anything in the Zoom session. Then after the Zoom meeting, I quickly searched him on LinkedIn and I sent a request with a note that good day, that I really enjoyed your session with us. I got these few things, but I have a question to ask. There was like, that LinkedIn, there is a limit to the message you can send with the connection. So I just stopped on the question to ask, and immediately he accepted and he was like, what's your question? And he even checked my profile, and like that was how we started the conversation. That then said that I invited him for one program I organized recently. So like that now you used something that you used how would I put it? You used similar experiences, you used similar conferences you've attended. You can use that to get to someone. And another one again that Jumoke said is pitching yourself. And I also have a comment to do that, to say concerning that. A lot of people, we go immediately and we ask what we want. That's that. In fact, you might not even get a reply. The chances of getting a reply is 1 out of 100 and 1 out of 1,000, to be more realistic. There is something that a mentor of mine used to say, that you don't always go to people that you need something for with what you want. You go with what you have to offer. Now that thing is actually a lot hard, but trust me, it's possible. Now you might be wondering that if I want to message someone for a job, what do I have to offer? Or if I want to message a big man, what do I have to offer? Trust me, there are things you have to offer. Speaking from experience, let me give an example now. You might not know Simi. Simi works at Goldman Sachs. She was a graduate of OAU also, and she is the owner of the Employable Graduates, founder of the Employable Graduates. Now, I connected with her. We had a discussion a while ago before the whole Employable Graduate saga, but I messaged her that time to ask about Goldman Sachs. I was applying for the Goldman Sachs interview. Like, let me message her to ask about all these kind of things. That was my own view. That was what I wanted to do for her, but I did not go straight to the point. I was like, I messaged her and I was discussing about that. I really love that profile. That I heard that she's into developing people. That how has she been? That how is everything? And from there we started discussing. And I didn't even end up bringing up the good massage to her. She was the one that brought it up to me. That what's your interest? You mean someone is asking you what's your interest? That you've already got this person in your in your hands per se. What's your interest? Then start giving me tips. So if we all try to like imbibe that culture of not going straight to what we want to collect from them, instead what we have to offer, even if we don't have anything to offer. Let me give an example of even if we don't have anything to offer. There's someone on LinkedIn that I just like, I've always wanted to talk with that person, even though I don't have anything to offer the person. Then I just sent a message that, hi, good morning, that I noticed that you are friends with, I mentioned two other people that I know that are friends, and I noticed that we have the same, so that I would just like to be in your connection. I like to have a chat with you. And next thing, she just sent me a WhatsApp number that message me on this number. And I was like, seriously? But when I just sent a message that I need you, I come and be my mentor or something, she might have not replied me like that. But I just tried to like I don't know what the word to use. I just tried to like find a link between two of us for us to be able to reply me. As Yinka said something. Or Yinka, do you have any other thing to say?
Yes. So to be honest, I feel like I have least experience here because I've not really, let me say, message to people like that to like talk to them. I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe I should start. I should improve on that. But I want to say something else. I think they've said many things, saying you find a link, more or less like things that you do when you want to send a cold mail, something like that. So for me, I also want to say something else. So now the thing is, there, like I said, I think I said this before. There are different type of people. So yes, they may be, let's say, there may be some people that you do all these things and they would not still reply you. And what I just want to say is, for me, I think I okay, if we thinking that maybe that's why I've not yet sent it to so many people. But there was a time I sent let me say a message to one woman like that. I've forgotten her name, safe. But it was majorly because of her story and all that. And she was behind my name. I think she's okay, but she's not behind Olayinka, she's behind Adeyinka. And I sent a direct message to her and all that. I was telling her, oh, Kiniko, I didn't ask her for anything. Like, I didn't ask her for anything. It was just basically the fact that, oh, she's interested in, she was doing some things that I was also interested in. And she talked about how she wrote CFA after she already had a child and all that. And she didn't reply. And I know I did all the things I was supposed to do. You get?
I know the person you're talking about. She's fair like this. She
Yes.
works at PwC.
I'm not even sure. I don't even know.
No, it's EY. She works at EY. She's the manager at EY.
Yes, that's true. So, and I know I like wrote all those things that I like. I'm always conscious when I'm like talking to people in the corporate world. You get? So I knew that I didn't write anything that would probably offend her or something, and she didn't reply. So sometimes you may do. I'm sure.
She didn't reply me also. I sent a message to her, but that was before she posted that story. That was a while ago.
Because even after she wrote the story, I was just like, oh, I'm inspired and all that. I didn't ask her for anything. I didn't even ask for 5 naira. You get? But I feel like sometimes too, there are some people that you do all these things and they would not reply.
And they
Let us be honest. There are some people that will not reply.
I was going to say that.
You move on. You have to move on, and
it's the truth.
Don't let that be your basis for saying, everybody's proud and all that. Like, you can see that some people have already shared the experience of how they talk to some people and they reply. We are different. We cannot react the same way. You get? So even if you do everything, some people will not reply, but you just have to like move on and learn whatever you want to learn from other people. I don't believe that there's only one person you can learn this particular thing from.
Yeah, I wish I can share my screen and show you guys my LinkedIn chat. It's not everybody that replies. It's normal.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not everybody that replies. The same woman that Yinka is talking about, I sent her a message a while ago, and although at that time I was not as if I'm sending the message now to her, I will not send it like that. Because that time I was still the one of message and you asked us to need immediately. So what did I need that? I didn't need that for anything. I just needed that to talk on something at a conference, at an online conference or so. Well, I shall message her and she literally read my message. I thought that she has read the message and she's not replied. And I was like, wow, this lady is I sent another message again. If you don't message. She read and did not reply. I just said, well, just move on. We move.
No, I think. Can I chip something, please, Delako?
Yeah, chip it.
Yeah, I guess if you guys actually have, if you guys have the opportunity to actually work or intern with any firm, you will get to understand, or you will get to understand how busy your boss would be. I mean, now seeing how busy your boss would be, you can now imagine the time that your boss will have to actually reply messages on LinkedIn. Not talk of messages coming from people that she doesn't even know. So you could imagine.
But
so it's not everybody actually have that time.
The to reply. No, I don't support that.
I know.
I don't actually support that too.
I understand Kenne's point.
Some actually very busy. Some are that busy.
They'll just
open it.
No.
Guys, wait, guys. Let me give you guys an example of someone that is like also. There's this man, I don't want to mention his name, he's a very popular man. We chat on LinkedIn. But he does not really reply me. Like, he does not reply. So they said that he missed something that we're supposed to talk about. He missed it. Then I just noticed that I have this man mail. Let me try sending him a mail to his work mail. And less than 10 seconds, he replied. I sent again, he replied. And we're conversing on mail. Then I asked him a question that, but you left my message on LinkedIn for the past week. I said that it does not check LinkedIn. That it comes because he's always online on LinkedIn. but it says that it does not open messages. And even if you open messages, it does not reply, that he's sorry, that he does not have the time or something. But you can see that might be that kind of person also. That
Exactly.
just
Try
it's
to
not,
imagine.
That's true, anyways.
Yeah. So
But me, I
sorry.
feel,
I'm not saying that people are not busy. I'm not saying that
yeah,
they're not, but there are some, how will I say, there's courtesy to everything. I'm saying that even
yes,
though, yes, there are some people, there are some professionals that would, how will I say, they are busy and all that. But I feel like some of them, sorry, I will say this, but some of them also don't have courtesy. Some of them, to be honest, I'm
yes.
serious.
Now they
let
are
me check
human
who's
being like
streaming this
us.
YouTube
How will they
video.
feel if I do the same to them? It's not
It's
say, it's
true.
not cut as seriously. It's nothing. It's not take anything from her to say thank you and all that. Or like
Yinka,
a simple word will not. It will not stop anything. I'm
I
really
think Inka is
angry.
pained. Inka is pained.
Yinka,
Okay.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
let me just finish
Like,
up. Let me just finish up this. Let me just finish up this. Okay, first of all, I remember. Okay, I was trying to remember something that Emmanuel Gilo told us then. It was like build your professional brand. Like build your professional brand. So that keeps ringing in my head. Build your professional brand. And then I would like to say something too. Okay, yeah, so it's not just now. Some of us have given our experience how we converse with one or two professionals and we got response. Some of us didn't get response due to one reason or the other. But I'd like to say this too. Before you actually start conversing with all these professionals, there's one thing you should know, or there's one thing you should do rather. Make sure your profile is actually in line. Okay, I said something that Emmanuel Grillo actually tried to correct me some certain things. If my profile was worse than how it was then, I'm very sure he won't even have that time. When you see love to be corrected, he won't even have that time to say, okay, or he might just check my profile and then zoom off. You know, that kind of a thing. So one thing you should know is that just ensure your profile is in place. Like, even if you don't have much to say, there's always a section to describe yourself, right? You can actually write something there, even if you are not described yourself, in such a way that
Okay.
anyone who just check your profile will be marveled with whatever this person sees. Like, oh, so this person is interested in this person. Oh, like, I mean, you actually you can all just look for something to just put out there. Like, just
Okay.
ensure that your profile is good to go first. That's the first thing you need to ensure before you actually start conversing with all these guys.
You
Because
know,
that's the first thing they will do. When you start messaging them, that's the first thing. If they want to chat you, reply your chat, they'll first check your profile. And if your profile is not to write them about, I'm sorry, you won't get further response.
okay. You know what we are going to do now? Because we are not just going to talk about LinkedIn today, and we've already used 1 hour tops, even though we started late. So anyone that is talking, we are going to be timing ourselves now. Like if we are talking, we are going to talk for 1 minute or 1 minute 30 seconds tops, and that's all. Okay, yeah, I guess our last panelist is finally back. For me, do you want to chip in something quickly before we move on?
Yes, I want to say something.
Okay, 1 minute.
So I'm not speaking wrong. Yeah. So I know you guys are talking about LinkedIn, but I want to combine both LinkedIn and networking. Even though your profile is okay and you feel like anybody you chat up is going to reply you, I'll still say that not everybody is worth connecting with. Not that they are not worth it, like in the word sense. Like you don't need to know everybody. Like you don't need to connect to everybody. Before you connect to someone, like I'm bringing networking into LinkedIn now. Before you connect to someone, you should know why you want to connect with the person. What do you stand to lose if you don't connect with the person? There are many people that I hear people talk about. Let's say, "Ah, I know this person is this person is that." I won't just want to connect with the person just because I hear people say the person is okay and is good. I want to connect with the person because I know that I stand to lose something if I don't connect to the person. So, like I would just say you should look at three things. What do I stand to lose if I don't connect to the person? What do the person stand to gain if I connect to the person? And what value do I have to offer? If the three of them are a no-no, just zoom off. You don't need to connect with the person. As much as you want to connect, it's not everyone you should connect with. So that's just what
Okay.
I want to say.
Yeah, thanks for that, too, for me. The thing is, networking and LinkedIn, they are more or less interrelated. LinkedIn is a way of networking, is one of the best ways of networking because online it's very hard to network. You can't just walk up to to the CEO of a company now. It's not possible. The security that will stop you. But you can chat to someone on LinkedIn without any security stopping you. That's why most times, anytime we're talking about networking, we always say LinkedIn. But there are different ways that we can network. That's what I will tell us to talk about next before we move on to cover letter and CV. That, okay, other ways we can network. Who can give us, which of the panelists here can start with an experience of a way he has networked with someone and till now it's actually like a very good relationship and it does not have to do with LinkedIn or online? Or let me go first, so maybe that would structure where we are structuring our thoughts. Now, let me give an example. Recently, I was in charge of a conference that was supposed to hold business for Corona. So I went for a program. I'm sure we know ACCA annual summit. ACCA holds an annual summit in Lagos at this side. It's near Marina, I think. So I went for this one of this year.
At Onico.
Yeah. And my mind there was that, oh, this Dolako, you are going to meet people to network for your conference. And that was like my mindset there. So I wore very corporate clothes, did everything. I was ready. That immediately we got to the program, that everybody speakers were talking. I was just that my mind was not on there at all. I was just meeting people. I met people from PwC, I met people from different companies, e-transact and other companies, just talking. They said that although my own mindset was not to go and get job for anything, but the way I approached them, the way I was finding and the way I was looking for things in common, that I got over 7 business cards. I think Tofumi was there also. No, Tofumi was not there. I got over 7 business cards with just that meeting, just that conference I attended. And I don't want to say, well, and we raised an amount of money, but I don't see the amount of money, but we raised the amount of money. Then when I sat down, I was like, Dolapo, wait, if you can put this kind of strength that you put in looking for money for conference, you can put it that, and let me even look for internship and the rest. You would have gotten into, because about 3 of the companies even sent me a mail again that thank you for your application. I should forward my CV. I was like, I didn't come to ministry for a job. Now I telling me to send my CV. But like you'd have gotten into that was an example that I can give. Does anybody else want to talk? Jumoke, Yinka, Kelly, or Tufumi?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to say.
For physical one.
Is it talking about networking? This is already networking, right, Abby?
Yeah. LinkedIn and networking are interrelated. I'm just trying to say that we don't just focus on only LinkedIn. Probably we have any experience of outside LinkedIn, like what we did and how we did it. Like,
outside LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
I have an experience.
Okay, when Tofumi done, I'll stop.
All right.
Okay, so when we went for what's the name? ACCA conference early this year, before the pandemic. So it was an OAE student, but I didn't know the person before. So we actually met in the conference and we spoke. We sat close to each other. I saw the person, but when we went outside, so I felt like I just started speaking with the person because we were gisting. You know, when people are much and you want to take picture, someone is saying that please take this picture for me, regardless if you know the person or not. So we're taking pictures. So I don't know, a conversation just started and we started speaking. Then from there, we went together from Lagos back to Ife that night and we continued speaking. So the person collected my number and that was just how it started. We just found a common ground. That's where this thing comes in. I'm the kind of person I don't like talking. I don't like chatting. If it's not something serious, I will just tune off. If you start asking me how are you, fine. How was your day? Fine. I'll not reply a message again. But I actually wanted a relationship with this person. So I found a common ground. I started by replying his status. So when I see he post something I'm also interested in, we are going to talk. We are going to, like, I will just start a conversation. So we are going to talk from there. We got to know more about each other. And since we are talking about physical networking, but this thing has also worked with me a lot online also. So there are a number of people that I have a good relationship with that was the basis of it, finding a common ground. We can say not everybody is similar, right? Can we unmute ourselves, please? Okay, so we can say not everybody is similar, but I would say that there is no way there's going to be a common ground, like something you're both interested in, something that actually that can make the both of you talk for hours. You need to find that thing. You may have studied the same course, you went to the same university, you love the same artist. See, it can be anything. You like the same music artist. Oh, you like the same housemate in Big Brother Naija house. That one too is part. Maybe you see the person post about it. Maybe you have an opportunity to see the person's status. See the
Yeah.
person post about it. You can reply, say, "Oh, Erica did this, Lincoln did that." You
Yes.
can just chip in your own thing too. It doesn't have to be work, 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 finance, finance, finance. Me too, I don't like to work all the time. Not everybody likes to work all the time. So we have to choose too. So you can just find a common ground. That's just my point. Find a common ground between you and the person and use that
Yes.
common ground.
Thank you for
That's
that,
just it.
Tiffany. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's just the basic truth actually. You need to like try to find a common ground. To chip in to add what you said, the person that actually gave a huge sum of money that day, our daughter is a student of OAU. So when I just went there that a final year student of Obafemi University, she was like, "Hey, which department?" That was what started the conversation. She was like, "Do I know?" I was like, "I've heard of the day before." To be honest, I've no idea. Till now, I don't even know the person. But I just said I've heard of the day before so that to keep the gist going on. But I don't think I don't even know until now I don't know the girl. So like that, we already had the common ground, and that what developed in that she was so happy that I'm doing all this kind of thing that you said that don't worry that they're in already. So like that was already a common ground that I found with her. Now one thing again that I wanted to add is if we are if we're kind of person like now, Tofumi said it already that she's a very reserved person, but she did not think of that when she was going to meet the person that she wanted to talk to. She went to meet the person. But if I the kind of person that you're thinking that I don't like talking outside, I don't talk, to be honest, networking is going to be a really, really hard thing for you to do. You just have to like know the difference between Tofumi would have been the best person to talk about this because me, I'm a very open person. Even if I'm not networking, anybody
And
can
what's
meet me,
that?
I will talk and laugh.
What's
Like
that?
you said you're a very reserved person. Now, some people here might be
Yeah.
very reserved and be thinking that networking is not for me. That how will I just walk up to
Yes.
somebody and talk?
Yes.
I've
Okay.
not had. I will give it to me. You will talk. Like I've not had that kind of experience before because me, I'm always. I see no issue meeting anybody to talking and doing everything. I'm just open. But someone like that now might be thinking that there might be an issue. So to for me, can you like talk on how you usually do it? Since you said you're a reserved person, like what makes you to go and meet these people to talk?
Okay. When I was talking the other time, I was like, you should have a reason. Like, what do you stand to lose? That's why I don't talk to just anybody. If there's no reason to, I won't. So if I see that there's a reason to, like, there's an importance to, I take away the reserve to for me and be the networking to for me. You get, so you forget the fact that nobody is shy. Like, I've heard it a lot, but I didn't believe it until I know that nobody is shy. I used to be scared of talking in front of people, talking to a stranger, but now I see it as nothing. The more you do it, the more you get used to it. You get, so the thing is that you have to put away that reserved side of you and be the net and bring yourself to network with people. So far you have a reason. That's it. The reason will be your motivation. Okay, let me give an example. You need a
The
job.
reason will be your motivation. Please don't.
So the thing is that you applied for an internship in a firm and you went to an event, maybe a wedding, and you saw the CEO of the place. Abeg, shey you say that you are reserved, you no go and talk to the person. That's the best platform to talk to the person, the wedding. You can start from how did you know the bride or how did you know the husband? I'm the sister of the cousin of the husband. Like you can just start talking from something casual. Then you bring yourself to talk about school and career and everything. So because you are reserved does not mean that you now see the CEO of a place you applied to in a wedding. You now say, I'm a reserved person. You won't go and speak to the person. Even though you won't say, please, help me. Like, it's not even right for you to start saying that, please help me with my application. Something just someone just met today. But at least you want to discuss with the person. The person will want to know, like you want to tell the person what you're interested in. So you now start saying I'm a shy person, I'm a reserved person. You know now go. Ah no. You just have to, like, that's it. That was why I said that the reason will be your motivation. That's why you need to have a reason to connect with
Thank
the
you.
person. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yes, the reason will be a motivation. In case you are shy, yeah, please you can write that down. So anytime you're like, Jesus, I can't do that. Just remember to me saying the reason is your motivation. So be like, what would I do if I don't do this thing? And quickly, just someone of the college. I can't lie. At first, you had you might stammer, you might make some mistakes, you might even blow. But when you start doing it, I pinned down that I was supposed to talk about concerning first impression. And I don't know, but everybody, to be honest, everybody I interviewed that is here, they fell victim to that. Like first impression matters a lot. Now, before we do that, can anyone just introduce themselves? Not a panelist now, so I will use that. Can anyone just introduce themselves?
They have to call a name.
I should call a name to make it faster,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
I don't like calling names. I feel because me, I will not like.
Let me
Okay.
help you. Let me help
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me look for one name. Daramola Funke, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Before you introduce yourself, let me depict the person. So you're introducing yourself to me, and I am. You recently applied for a job that has to do with finance, and me, I'm the head of recruitment there. But we are not in the interview place now. You just saw me in the wedding, and you're coming to meet me now. How will you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you come again?
Oh, wow. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I said you recently applied for a job in a finance firm, and you now see me. I was the head of recruitment there, but we didn't talk. So you now saw me in a wedding, like Tufumi said, and you walked up to me. So how would you introduce yourself?
I will be like, I'll be like, good afternoon. My name is Damola Funke. Can you remember my face? Then if you are like, no, I'll be like, okay, I was the one you interviewed the last time and stuff like that. Then I'll be like, how do you know the bride? Like great of me said, how do you know the bride? This and that. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Let me call one person and give another instance. So just do for me, Shegun.
I'm here.
Am I on mute? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so you are applying for a job now, and you're applying for a job to a finance related role, and I'm your interviewer, and I'm like, okay, good morning, tell me about yourself and all. How do you introduce yourself?
Are we supposed to have met before? Or am I supposed to introduce myself?
No. I don't think you've not met before. This is like the first time you're seeing me. I'm your interviewer.
Okay, so you don't know anything about me.
Yes, I have your CV though, but I don't know anything about you.
Okay. I'll be like, my name is just Tofumi Shegun. I would like to what I would like to offer and all. I would just try to make myself presentable in different ways I know that would be polite enough for me to be recognized. Then
No, I'm not saying what you do. I say you should introduce yourself.
okay,
Like
I should introduce myself.
yes, like I'm the interviewer now. You sit down and like, oh, hello, I'm laughing. No, who's talking? Sorry, hello, just to me. Like, can I meet you?
I'm a patricent of. Sorry, I'm supposed to be done. I'm supposed to be a graduate. I think that's it. I don't have anything else I want to add to being a graduate.
Sorry, I don't know. My network was bad. I didn't get what you said. Sorry about that.
Yes, I said I'm supposed to be a
Hello?
graduate. I'm supposed to be done with school, Abi.
Okay, let's not waste too much time again. I guess we're already wasting time. Let me just like explain what I meant by that. Now, just to for me actually, so who started? So that mother actually did quite a good job because Tufumi has already even explained it already. That once you're meeting someone that you try to find the common ground when you're introducing yourself. Now, like I can't imagine if I had walked up to the person the person in the wedding and like good morning or good afternoon. We spoke at the interview last time, or good afternoon, I met you at the interview, and that's the first thing I said. What do you think will come to the man's mind that what's this one coming to do again? Is it for to beg that I should give him the job or what? But the way Funke started as have you seen my face before? And she now added the fact that who do you know in the but that's actually a very nice introduction. Now for the one of the interview, almost everybody fell victim to this. When you are being asked like tell me about yourself, or someone is just meeting you for the first time, you don't need to you are supposed to introduce yourself in a way that will be related to the role. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. You're supposed to introduce yourself in a way that that will catch the person interest. Now I can imagine if I'm a recruiter now telling someone that is applying for an accountant job to tell me about yourself, and the person is saying that my name is Dolapo Oni. I love meeting new people. I recently went for Olympics and I won the Olympics and this and that's all I said. Like now, I've not made any lasting impression in that person's mind as regards the accountant role, but that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of I want to get an accountant. I hope you guys can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, but if I had said that, good afternoon, my name is Dolapo Oni. I am a child accountant. I'm also in my final stage of ACCA. I recently interned in a company where I was working with the treasury department, and I've also volunteered in 3 different organizations where in the organization I assisted in keeping the financial record of the organization, and I was able to secure fund of blah, 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 blah. Now, as I'm saying that now, what do you think the person mind is what do you think is going through the person mind that wow, you calculated the books of 3 organizations, you raised funds, you did those things. Like as I'm saying that now, that's related to what I'm applying for. But when a lot of people are victims to this actually, I just don't want to mention names. When you're saying that tell me about yourself, and like my name is Dolakwani, and I just stayed there. I'm not saying anything again. That's not a proper introduction. I know nothing about you. You said my name is Dolakwani. I am a 300 level student of Fatima University. I'm a 400 level student of University, and that's all. That's not actually proper. Does anybody have any other thing to say before we move to cover letter and CV?
Yeah, I have something to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like the Apple said that I would just say that it depends on the kind of setting, number one. Because like when just me, was it just me I called? I can't remember the name. When she was introducing herself to a person she met at a wedding, she was like, I can't remember, but I just want to say that number one, how you introduce yourself should be dependent on the setting. If I meet someone at a wedding, I won't start with I am a chartered accountant. I won't start with I'm currently working at this firm. I'm a this and that. I will start with my name is this. I'm the sister or cousin to the bride or to the groom, or my friend invited me to the wedding. I've been seeing maybe there's something you saw in the person that actually made you approach the person. So you would say that thing and tell the person and be like, okay, how did you know the groom or the bride? So it depends on the setting. In an interview, you can go with Dolapo's what Dolapo said. And another thing I would like to add is that I've forgotten. Okay, yes, forgotten now. I'll say it when I remember. I just remembered now, but
So
I've
for
forgotten it.
me, when you remember
Okay,
So
yeah,
Dolapo, your network is bad.
I've remembered. Okay, so what I wanted to say is that oh Dolapo, I don't
Dolapo, please, your network is bad. Can you move?
I think it's the first network.
yes, okay. So
yeah,
let me
Adiboye,
just
what do you want to say?
I'm the one talking, Dolapo. It's
Wow.
tough.
Hello?
You can't really hear us. Let me just go on with what I was saying. Okay, so I just remember what I wanted to say. So what I want to say is that you you shouldn't talk too much. Like I don't know, but me personally, I get bored when you start talking about yourself. You said this, you said that. I don't like people talking too much. So I will get bored. And I think that most people are like that.
Hello?
Dolapo.
Sorry, I'm back. What was Adeboye? I could not hear you.
Okay, let me start again. Dolapo, I was the one talking. Can you
Oh,
hear me now?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So what I wanted to say that I forgot the other time was that you shouldn't do too much talking, right? You ask the person question. When the person is talking, you shouldn't cut in and start talking about yourself again. The thing is that people actually get engrossed in talking about themselves. Like they get like they they actually like it when they talk about themselves. So you have to control your own self. If you are the one that wants to network with the person, you have to control yourself. Like you have to control yourself from talking too much about yourself if the person is talking about his or herself. So you see that like how the person starts talking, the conversation is going to lead to another place. It's going to lead to another place. It's lead to another place. So when I'm networking, especially when I'm on phone with someone, I know my friend now. If it's my friend, I'll cut him. I'll talk somehow to the person. But if it's someone that I know, like I want a relationship with, I won't cut him. See, the person can talk to 30, for 30 minutes. I won't do. Mm, it's when the person did not hear me say anything that will ask me that, Tofumi, are you still there? And I'll say yes. I've been on call with people for an hour, 40 minutes before, and I can say I didn't talk for more than 10 minutes because they are talking to me, they are not asking me a question. So I will have them talk that time will go. Like some people will say, I didn't know I was spoken for 30 minutes. Like people really enjoy talking about themselves. So you have to calm your own self down, like prevent yourself from talking too much because the person will get bored. So that just answer to it.
Okay, thank you, Tofumi. Adeboye, you can talk now.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, sorry, I should have asked these questions since like when you guys were talking about LinkedIn and networking, but you guys didn't ask for questions then, so I think I should ask it now before we move on to next one. So my questions are now, the first one is, okay, when you are connecting with somebody, okay, you are messaging the person, some people actually don't really like chatting, or they don't like you being connected with them. Now, for instance, I've met some people, they tell you that, okay, if you need something from me, just go straight to the point. Don't start telling, like, don't come in a cunning way. So now, and with what you guys have said, you said that we shouldn't go straight with what we need. Like, we just find a way of building a relationship or so. Now, what if we come across, or how do we know if someone does not like coming in a cunning way, or so, some people actually don't like texting, like they don't like chatting. So how
Yes.
do we really differentiate, or how do we identify them like that, so that we'll be able to deal with them, like we know how we deal with them, so that we'll be able to go straight to the point? Or is it generally that everyone that we want to chat with, like, we must go like not in a direct manner? And also, secondly, even though if we want to go in a direct
Um,
manner, like,
Adeboye, wait. Let's answer the first question first before you ask the second question, so you don't get to forget things. Did you get that?
you said what?
I said, let's answer the first question before you ask the
Uh,
second question.
okay, then.
Okay, and please, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the chat box or raise up your hand. I said that when we started. I didn't know that you had a question. Just raise up your hand or drop in the chat box and we'll call you. Before I say anything on that, is there anybody that wants to talk about this? Answer the question first.
Yeah, I want to answer.
All right. Tiffany.
Okay. The thing is that I'm a kind of person that I don't like chatting too. I only chat when it's important to chat. You can like the people I chat with are maybe people I am working with that is very important to chat. If someone sends me hello, I won't answer unless it's on LinkedIn because God did not shame us. It can be someone that will that will mentor me or something that will send me hello on LinkedIn. But if it's on WhatsApp and someone sends me hello and it's an unknown number, that message may not be opened though. but I don't like chatting, so I get tired of chatting sometimes if it's not something serious. So I would just say that even though we said you should first build a relationship, it should still be based on your discretion. Let me give you two instances. Yes, two instances. The first one, when the lockdown started, I wanted to get an internship. So there's someone I know on LinkedIn. So he told me, he gave a recommendation of a firm, an investment firm. He said I should look for the HR of the firm. Yeah. So I searched on LinkedIn. So I looked for one of the HR person working there. So I sent a connection request. The person accepted. So I started with hello. How are you doing today? The person answered, and later, see, maybe because I don't like chatting too, so I don't really like asking how are you, everything from someone too. So I just went straight to the point. I said everything about myself. I said I'm this, I'm that. This is why I sent a connection request to you. And the person answered me, send a mail and your CV to this so email address. And that was the end. Like maybe because I don't like talking too much too. But there's another instance. This person that asked me to go and look for that thing, I actually built a relationship with the person because I didn't want anything from the person. All I just wanted was a relationship. So I started chatting with the person. The person is someone that comes online on LinkedIn a lot. So I get to chat more with the person, right? And there's another person too. So I will ask the person, how are you doing? What are you working on currently? I know where the person is working. So I'm going to say, what are you working on currently? Like, he will tell me about this. We're going to discuss. Till now, I don't have his WhatsApp number. I didn't ask because we talk a lot on LinkedIn. So I don't need the WhatsApp number. And I know that if I asked for it, he would have given it to me, but I don't need it. So another instance is someone else. I was trying to build a relationship with the person, and I realized that the person does not come on LinkedIn very well. So when I said that my message will go for 1 month before it gets a reply, and I know it's not the person's fault because the person does not come online on LinkedIn. So I asked for the WhatsApp contact directly, and the person gave it to me. So we've been chatting on WhatsApp. And another instance is, okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
If you need to work on a project and you need a company to partner with you, and you have a deadline of 1 week, like let's say you have a deadline of 3 days, you cannot say you want to build relationship within 3 days before you now ask for what you want. The thing is that you just go straight to the point in some instance, and in some instance you don't go straight to the point. You build a relationship. So that's like it should be based on discretion. As much as you want to build a relationship, it should still be based on discretion.
Okay. Thank you, Tefumi. Let me add on what you said to answer Adeboye's first question. You are saying that how will you know when to go straight to the point and when not to go straight to the point, right? So, for example, if you are the hello message is not going straight, in fact, that hello message is actually very annoying. You can't just be sending to somebody who just send hello, I say that they're trying to build a relationship. That's not what we mean by building a relationship or finding a common ground. Hello, how are you doing? Something. I met you. I like your profile. I did everything. That's a very long message. Although you've not yet asked what you want to, but something like that would bring a reply better than just hello or good morning. And to be honest, some people still send just hello or good morning, and it's not. Is I don't want to say it's not right, but it's not proper. Especially if you are sending it to someone that is maybe you need something from, or you are trying to build a relationship with the person and just sending hello and good evening. I've actually forgotten one other thing I wanted to say, but Adebo, you asked a second question. Maybe I'll remember.
All right. Thanks for your replies. So the second question is, assume okay, we want to build a relationship with someone now, like official one. I mean, so okay, you have started the conversation, and some people are actually smart. Some people are chatting like from the beginning they can predict the end of the conversation. They can say, okay, this is where this guy is heading to. Now, how do you know the points at which you shoot your shot? After asking them several questions like how has been your experience so far in the industry? Can you tell me the things you would have done earlier, better, and the likes, blah blah blah. So, at what point do you know when to shoot your shot, so that Some people they will not talk, they just be watching you, they will be letting you
Okay.
do your things on your own, and you not talk at all. So how do you know that okay, this is the right time for me to actually tell them this is what I want, or when to know when to push it to them? Sha.
Okay. I remember what I wanted to say also. Before I forget, let me just say it. Now, if you notice, when Tofumi said she sent a message to the HR person of that company, she said she told him about herself and what she do and all. She didn't just say hello, good morning, or hello, I need a job, or good morning, I need a job. You know, that kind of message, I'm very sure the person might have not replied to for me, but she's introduced herself very well. That's what they call it again, cold email. It's something that they call code email. Code email is when you are sending everything that you need, all what you need in one compact message. Maybe introducing yourself, saying what you need, saying what you can offer, or how you can be a better help to the person. If to me I just said, hello, good morning, sir. Please, sir, I have not eaten today, or sir, I've been jobless at home and I need a job. Person be like, if you're jobless at home, so what's not my business? But Toby was like, good morning. Good morning. She talked about herself. Then before she now said that she needs an internship, she first talked about herself. And I'm sure when she was talking about herself, she would have pitched herself well to see that this guy will see that, oh yes, this kind of person will actually be an asset to the job. Am I right for me? If I'm assuming for you.
You're right, you're right.
Okay,
I
okay.
actually told the person why I want to work at that firm too. Like it's just
Uh-huh.
like introducing yourself for an interview.
Like
That
a
was what I
code
did.
email. Yes. So it's not just that. That's if you're talking about sending a message about just hello, good morning, or hello, how are you doing today? That's not proper, honestly. You can't just be sending how are you to someone that you don't know before, and it's a very busy person. You don't know, it's a very big person
Dolapo,
that
I
you
want
expect
to
him to
say
reply
something.
you. For which question? The first or the second?
He asked a question where he said, okay, if you really want to connect with those people, especially if you meet them on LinkedIn, the best way to like stay connected with them is to ask them that which social media are you really active on. So when you ask them, is it that maybe for some people they'll be active on LinkedIn, some people will be active on
Yes,
WhatsApp,
yes.
some people active on maybe the way the Lapo said Gmail, the person was faster while you flying with Gmail. Then it could be anything. So you ask the person. Personally, I asked someone like that on LinkedIn, and then she told me that okay, I'm very cool with LinkedIn. I'm very active, and I see that okay, this woman is really active on LinkedIn, and we are cool with it. But some people they may not be really active on LinkedIn. Maybe other social media platforms like WhatsApp and so on. You know, even Dolapo now. You remember one time we were talking on LinkedIn. He said, "Okay, Jimmy, let's go to WhatsApp, Joe." No, that's what it is. So you ask them what interests them, which social media are they really active on, and then they will tell you,
Yeah.
and you guys will be cool.
The thing is that let me just read a message I sent to someone out. I was just going through my LinkedIn. So I said, hello. The person that accepted my connection request, and I said, hello, it's nice connecting with you. I'm a third year student of economics department where I'm interested in finance, majorly research analysis. I'd like to have a discussion with you. Please let me know your preferred means of communication. The person answered after an hour and said, hi, Oluwatofumi. It's nice connecting with you too. Please reach me via WhatsApp on 081 blah blah blah. Sure, that was our last conversation on LinkedIn. Everything was on WhatsApp. So I think that it just depends. So you should also ask the person the means of communication. And um that's why you need to check the person's profile. If you see that the person is not active on LinkedIn, the last time the person liked a picture or a post was 2 months ago. The person has not even posted before. Oh, you should ask the person the preferred means of communication. So it's just the way you should like just think about how you can be look at different way to go about it.
Okay, thank you, Tofumi. I wanted to ask, can you guys
Sorry,
hear
can I
any
ask
background?
something?
Can you guys hear any background song?
Sorry,
Yes.
Delacro, can I ask
Yes,
something?
yes,
Can you guys hear any background song?
yes.
Yes. Oh wow. Okay, that means I have to like leave this place. Tofumi, just continue.
Sorry, Delacro, I want to chip something, please. For me.
Go on, go on.
Okay. To answer Adeboye's question, I know the first question. Sorry, I need to take you guys back to the first question. If I understand him well, he's trying to say, you know, you might not have that full confidence when chatting, or especially when it's your first time, you want to chat up a professional. But that's when you begin to beat around the bush, for a very long time, such that it look like a dead end. You understand that, but you need to go straight to the point. So coming back to your second question, when you said some people are that smart that they will know where where you're actually heading to. Now, I think did you understand that? Or I don't know if I say this, if it will be harsh. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying. I hope it won't be harsh to you, but I think I need to say this. Fine, you understand they're actually smart. That some will even know where you're heading to. I think you should also be smart in that sense too, because some people are different. Some will actually won't tell you, won't give you the open floor. Say, okay, ask what you want. Some will not say, oh, so what do you want? Some will just keep quiet. Will keep answering all your questions and will never ask you, give you that open floor for you to ask questions. Some are like that. People are actually different. Some, as you keep greeting them, they keep greeting you back. You ask them questions, probably are scared to actually go straight to your point. At that moment, you should understand that, oh, this person has fine, the person has been answering your question. I think it's high time you just shoot something. Just shoot your shot. It's high time you just shoot your shot. But some cases might not be like that. Some cases they won't even have time to start the whole paparazzi of I'm good, like nice, you making some kind of so that kind of bring that kind of connection. So we just ask you straight up. So what do you want? They'll ask you straight up. So don't take it as if don't take it as an offense to actually table what you want instantly at that moment. Just drop it. People actually have different things they're doing. They have different business. They're into so many things. You don't know how busy they are. So when someone asks that particular question, like give you that open floor, rather, you should just shoot your shot. People are different. You should also work like that. Like Tofumi said, just use your discretion. I think that will help. Sorry, Adeboye, I'm
Okay,
not answering your
thank you.
question.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you?
It's all right.
I,
Thank you.
all right, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Zinga still here. Okay, so I think, do we have any other question
I'm
on?
still here. I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, do you have anything to add?
I don't think I really have much to add. People have said like a lot. Myself, I'm writing, I'm learning a lot because I'm also shy. I'm also a shy
We are
person,
all
but
learning.
people don't always believe me, but I'm shy. So I think another thing me I want just one thing that me I want to say is I don't think there's one way to a thing. Like if you want to cook fried rice now, people have different methods they use and cook fried rice. So I think there's no one route to a particular way. So the thing is, no, there's no standard. How would I say? People always want a standard. Okay, this is what you write 2 plus 2, it will give you 4. You get. So I think the main thing is like everybody has been saying, is based on the situation and the person you are talking to. I think I've been saying it since the beginning of this call. People are different, so it's just going to be based on how would I say. You have to use your discretion, like they've been saying. So I think that's just the only thing I want to add.
Okay, thank you, Inka. I don't know if anybody have mentioned this, but even if they have mentioned it, I would actually like to lay emphasis on it. Aside that you need something from someone, when you want to network with someone, you should have something to offer. Value, like it's not like money or gift, like, but you should have value to add, like every time. Like, see, if I just have the thing is that my WhatsApp status, I have a lot of people that have muted. I don't even view their status. Like I just feel like, what's this person posting? So if the thing is not of interest to me, I'll just mute the person. So the thing that we should have value to add, you cannot always have something to discuss with the person every time, especially someone like me that don't like chatting. See, I don't like chatting at all. So what I'll just say is that, let me give an example. We can build relationship with people that are on the same level as us. We can build relationship with people that are above us and people that are should I say below us? Like, you should understand, like people that are not yet where we are, that we are above. So let me give an instance. Like, okay, let's say I have 100 contacts. About 50 of them, let's say about 20 of them are interested in finance. About 50 of them are interested in management consulting. I'm this kind of person that I see opportunities a lot. I even go intentionally go online to go and search for them. So you can have a broadcast list of those kind of person, those kind of people. Okay, these people, they're interested in finance. You see a an internship opportunity, send it to them. Make it look like a personalized message. like, "Hi, it's been a while. I saw this what's the name? I saw this opportunity and I think that you'll be interested in it. Just send it. See, the person will appreciate it. Right? The person is going to appreciate it. Just have something to add to the person." And another thing I learned is that there was a time I actually attended a networking class. So what I learned was that nothing is too small to give. Just have something to give. Just have value to add to the person. You can have you may think this is too much, but I've done my own too. I would say that you should have a networking goal. I know we all have 2020 goal. I don't know if we all have it, but I would say I can say most of us have it. 2020 goal, career goals. Let's have relationship goal too. I want to connect with so person or a number of person in this field in this year. Or and aside from that, you should have an Excel file where you put the people that are in your network. When you write their names down, this is what I did. Let me give you an example of what I did. I used my WhatsApp contact. So I checked, I have over 600 contacts, but the number of people that are on that Excel sheet are about 100 and something. Because the others, I'm not interested in having a relationship with them. I don't even know how I got their number in the first place. So I have those 100 and something on that Excel file. And I have a status like, is the person a friend? Is the person an acquaintance? Is the person a colleague? Is the person a mentor? Is the person a role model? All those things. So you have that. Then I have another column that says how I wish to continue the relationship with the person. There was someone I've not spoken to for about 2 months, and we had a video call, and it was like the last time we spoke was yesterday. Just have a plan. Is it that you send the person happy new month message every month? It's just an example. I'm not saying you just send, I don't send happy new month message to people. So it's just an example. Is it that you be sending the person opportunities? If you're interested in finance and the person is interested in finance, is it that you'll be sending the person opportunities? I know someone that is interested in copywriting and all these freelancing. Anytime I see an opportunity related to that, I will always remember the person and I'll send the opportunity to the person. We may not talk for a month, but the time we talk, the person will use the person will keep thanking me because I put the person at like I have the person in mind. So just have something to offer, just have something to give to the person. Is it that you'll be checking up on the person? Just that. Even if it's that, it's okay. So just have something to offer. Another thing I want to say is that you should define your relationship. I may think as you as a friend, but you don't think as me as a friend. So that it's not end in tears. Like you can expect something from someone. Okay, let's say you met this person on LinkedIn and started talking, and the person is working at the firm you're interested in working in. And you start telling the person, "Ah, can you give me the contact for of the HR of the," and you know the person has the contact, but the person is just starts giving you excuses and all. You will feel somehow because we are humans, you feel somehow. But I'll still say that you should define your relationship so that you won't feel disappointed when the person disappoints you in quote and in quotes, because the person you actually not think that is disappointing you. You just expected too much from the person. Right. So I just say I should define the relationship so that you won't be disappointed. Yeah. So I think that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Well, why? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, but I might have to be on mute for a while because of the noise that is
All
coming.
right.
I went to a place to chat today, there's a lot of noise still. But I wanted to add something that I feel that would help us out too. Please, let's not just look for connection when we need the connection. That's another thing I wanted to add. There's a reason why I said that we should be looking for people that we have similar interests with and just like trying to like have a conversation with them and build a relationship with them, because we don't know, we might need them in future for anything, and to be a lot easier meeting someone that you know for something than just looking for so sending cold emails just because you need it urgently. Assuming you had the person in your connection before, you would not be facing through that problem. Let me give you guys an example now, like where where I'm currently interning now. Where I'm currently interning now, that it was a long story. The person messaged me. I got the job through LinkedIn. The CEO messaged me through LinkedIn that, oh, that interesting profile. I want to have a chat with me. And I knew that chat was already an interview. So what I did immediately is that I just searched for the company's name on LinkedIn and I checked for people that have worked there before. And to my surprise, I saw that I have like good connection with people that had worked there already. So it was not something that was hard for me. I just messaged the person immediately that, how far? It was even how far I even said that your CEO messaged me that he has chat to how will I pay for the interview, something like that. And immediately I messaged those people and I got premium content. Then also they now referred me to someone else that is still working there that I don't have a relationship with. And to be honest, I didn't really get anything from that person because when I messaged the person with all my hello, good day, how are you? I would like to blah 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 blah. We just talk. All they were just saying is that okay, no problem. Just prepare. Just do this. I was like, how you just tell me that I should just prepare for the interview? You know this man, you know what to ask me. But I didn't really gain much from him. But the others that I've built relationship with over the years, even if they've left already, I gained a lot from them. This is what Tofumitu is saying that you know the people we are connecting with. And that is like now, I have a goal. I know where I want to work for my NYC. To be honest, I already have about 20 people that I'm chatting with already. That I know that once the time comes, all I need to do is just a message that how far I want to do this. I've not yet told them my goal, but they are working there already, and I've not asked them for anything. We're just chatting, or they're just even. In fact, I don't ask them for something. Said that I should help them do presentation, I should help them do that, and I'm doing it, winning it, smiling, knowing that damn, I will need you. You cannot say no. You help me. You sit down with me until I pass this interview. So that's something that we should imbibe also. I would try to share. I would share a networking template to Tofumi because I'm not available on WhatsApp now. So Tofumi will send it to our group. We can use that template. We can write it down that okay, in the next 5 years now, or the next 3 years, people that are already in 200, in the next 3 years now, I'll be in the outside world. Where do I want to work in? Okay, I want to work in Afro Invest. I want to work in BAM. I want to work in Good Massage. Then you go there and you start looking for, okay, who can I build relationship with that is already working there? As you are doing that now, as you start your relationship now, you don't need to be chatting every day. At least the person I've seen your face before, you've talked with the person I'm seeing face. As you are doing that, when the time you will now need them, it will be a lot easier for you, to be honest. To be a lot easier. Okay, yeah, Tufumi, do you have it? I say, do you have the template of it, Tufumi?
Yes, I have it. He sent it to my mail.
Tufumi?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, then just send it to them. Yeah, you can use that. You guys can use that template and start building it up. It might look like hard work now, but when you are reaping the benefit, just like an investment, when you make investment with your money, it will be pinching you at that time. But when the profit is coming, you will start enjoying it. Same way you'll be enjoying it when you now need their help and they have no choice than to answer you. That's when you will enjoy it. So for me, let's just move on to cover letter and CV writing.
All right, thank you, Dako. So wait, okay. Okay, so does anyone have something like to start? Kele, Inka, anyone of you down to start?
Can I start? I don't think there's noise here yet. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah. We can hear you. You can start the lock.
There's no noise in the background, right?
No, not really.
Okay. Now, for the cover letter part, cover letter, to me, I feel cover letter I take cover letter as the same way of introducing yourself. Just that you have to like start watching your English, watching your grammar with the cover letter. But to me, the same way as just saying, tell me about yourself. That's what cover letter is basically what's all about. So most people tend to like overthink for cover letters. I remember me now when I first started writing cover letters to companies, then I sent it to one of my mentors. Was like, what are you writing? I'll write, okay, good morning, good morning, sir. My name is Dolapo Oni. I am I hail from I remember that word ill. I hail from Osun State. This. I went to farm like you know that. So that's what I usually use every time I attach it. I was send it. So it was not one day that I was applying for one internship that I think was one Afro Invest internship sale. So I now sent it to one of my mentors that worked for Afro Invest that did my cover, and he was like, Dolapo, are you okay? What are you writing? And he'll tell you that what's all this Eli for Osun State? What's their business with Eli for Osun? that you aim for Ocean State. That it's not supposed. They're not doing that. What you are doing for cover letter is you're trying to like pitch yourself in a way that they want to look at your CV. That's just what cover letter is all about. That's my own opinion. I'm sure anybody here can have a different opinion that would work out well.
Yeah.
Is you're just pitching yourself, you're making them want to check your CV. It's more or less like a cover letter is like a trailer of a movie. If you've seen Fast and Furious trailer now, you're like they'll just show maybe someone's about let me use money as maybe when someone's about to die, you just stop, you'll be like, oh God, what's going to happen? You anticipating the movie. That's how we should be writing our cover letter. Like you should make them anticipate to look at your CV or to want to know you more. That's just what I feel a cover letter is all about. That's why let me give the number one of the cover letters I wrote that I felt was actually very good. I started with I knew the man. I knew the man was a member of JCI, and also I'm not a member again. I was a member of JCI, and I know the man likes game. So this is how I started. I started my cover letter. I started with I'm a gamer. That what led to my love for gaming is problem solving. Something like that. As I started like that, and I now included JCI in my cover letter as what I worked on the project with JCI, and the project was we cleaned OAU campus. Although that's the reason I went to the JCI said, and I added that. And the first thing he said when we talked was, "Oh, so you're a member of JCI? Can you tell me how it was?" So what I'm thinking is that what I'm assuming that when he saw that letter and he was like, this guy worked in JCI and he was the former president of JCI for uni. Is it not? I think it was uni. Wow, they won again. Sorry, he was former president for JCI of uni. So once he saw that I put JCI there, he quickly that was the first question he asked. But that can only work out. Can you guys still hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Oh, awesome. But that can only work out, that JCI one I gave now, it can only work out when you know the person that's going to be reading your cover letter. But assuming you don't know the person that's going to be reading your cover letter, I just trying to guess that, okay, what would these people be interested in? That's what you now put there.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is that, just like the Darako said, that's me part of it. This was what I did when I wanted to write my own first cover letter. I went online. Even though I've attended workshops, seminars about how to write these things, I went online. I read a lot of cover letters. Like, I just kept on reading, kept on reading, kept on reading. So that was how I came up with my own cover letter. So even though I knew what to add, it's just like selling yourself, making the person want to meet you, right? So making the person want to meet you, that's what cover letter is about. So my own approach to it, the Labour's approach was different and is not wrong. My own approach to it was reading a lot of cover letters before I came up with my own. And actually, those cover letters will help you to also send cold emails to, maybe on cold messages on maybe LinkedIn, or you want to send it via mail also. So that's just what I think. Also, well, even when you're selling yourself, of course, you talk about your achievements related to why you are writing the cover letter. Maybe you want to apply for a research role. You are now talking about your experience in, let me look at a totally opposite role. I can't come up with one, but you should talk about your experience related to that role. Things like I want to apply for different role, including my CV and cover letter. I Especially my CV. I review my CV every time I want to apply for a role. I look at the skills. I'm moving on to CV now. Okay, let me just say it. So I'll look at the skills required for the job. I'll look for what I've done that is related to that skill. And see, I have a lot of CVs on my laptop. It can even be more than 20, I don't know. But because every time I want to apply for an opportunity, I review it. So I'll look at the skills they specified for the role. I add it to it. And there are some roles that they don't specify skill. You just see one random link and you want to apply, you look at the website, you won't really see what they are looking for there. But you can just go online and say, okay, skills necessary for this job. You might know it, but you may think you know it and you actually don't know it. So you just search for the skills that are necessary for the job. Look for things you've done that are related to the skill. Add it in your maybe work experience, volunteer experience, leadership experience, and all. So that's just it. Does anyone want to add anything to it, or I should
Or I think I
continue?
have something.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think we're all familiar, or we're all aware that why company asks for our CV, they as well ask for our cover letter, right? So the thing is that CV it follows a structure. Like there's a structure, there's a pattern you must follow in your CV. So you just have to follow. You just have to drop everything down. So, but your cover letter actually gives room for flexibility. So if you are good at writing, it's an opportunity for you. You can actually play with words. You can actually um make your write up fascinating. Make your cover letter precisely fascinating. I mean, you come up with just sell yourself, like Tiffany said. Sell yourself. It gives you for flexibility. So you can just sell yourself. And now most of the time, why people will even like to read your CVs after they've read your cover letter. So when that sorry, that's what I think though. That's what I think. So your cover letter has to come first. Make sure your cover letter is top notch. Make sure it's not cliche. So what I mean by cliche is that they've given there is a format for cover letter, just like there's a format for CV. I don't know if you don't know that before. I think it's high time you know that. I think Tofuni or I don't know anyone else would probably share that with us. Or let me just run this let me just run through it quickly. For example, like cover letter, there's a format, right? We have the first paragraph. You have to describe yourself, your name, the division or whatever you're applying for, the role you're applying for, and why you are applying. Yeah, why you think you can actually work for the firm, right? The second paragraph can talk about your skills since you have acquired, right? So how you have prepared yourself, yeah, how you have prepared yourself, yeah, for that particular role. That will be your second paragraph. Then the last paragraph, it could be why the firm is yours, right? Why you think you are best fit with the firm, right? So there you look at the values, the culture of the firm. You try to you table down your own culture, your own values, how your own values resonates with that firm's values, right? So that's basically, in summary, the structure of a cover letter. Now, I've said the structure, right? Now, I don't expect you to follow that structure strictly. You should try as much as you can to avoid cliche. What I mean by cliche is something that is very common, something that I mean, if I pick up someone's cover letter and I start reading from the first paragraph, and I've seen these words number of times, I've seen this format number of times. Even your CV, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can talk on the CV right now. I think you need to avoid cliche. You need to make your cover letter has to be spectacular. It has to be unique. Yeah, it has to be unique, not in the sense of being bad, but unique in the sense of being top notch. I mean, just your mindset should be you are giving out a shot, right? You are giving out a shot. Just assume that will be your last opportunity. Just assume that will be your last opportunity to get this job or whatever you're applying. So just put it in mind. You just need to put it in mind that if you don't get this, that's all. It's either you get this or you don't get any other work. So you just have to push yourself to actually give the very nice shot. I mean, it has to be top notch. It has to be spectacular. You must try as much as you can to avoid cliche. Avoid common words, just come up with something that will still correlate with the structure, but then something that would be fascinating if any HR reads it. So I think that's just what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I also wanted to add something. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Now, I right now I just formed two different types of cover letter that is short. That's how you guys can know the difference and know what I mean by making your cover letter, making your interviewer anxious to meet you. Now, let me give the first example now. That okay, hello, I am Dola Kowoni, a resourceful business development professional capable of articulating executable strategy for clients to drive sustainable business growth. And I'm so excited to use this skills in delivering for clients of Philips Consulting. That's the first one. Did you guys get that well?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Okay, now
yes.
the second one is okay. Hello, I am a business developer seeking for a challenging role where I can employ my business writing skills and grow my knowledge base. Now, in these two short ones I've said now, which one would you think would the HR person have more interest in? The example one or the example two?
Well, the thing is that I think it depends on the person. I'll actually go for the second one. I use complicated things. I'll go for the second one.
You do what?
I'll go for the second one. I hate complicated things, especially using ambiguous words. So I'll go for the second.
Let me post it and maybe I should type it on the group. Now, look at this now. Look at the first one now. What the first one, let me repeat the first one again. I am a resourceful business development professional, capable of articulating executable strategy for clients to drive sustainable business growth. And I am so excited to use these skills in delivering for clients of Philips Consulting. Now, if you look at this first one now, this person, it's obvious that this person wrote this call letter for Philips Consulting. Philips Consulting is a company, is a management consulting company that they also deal with HR also. So as he wrote that now, it's obvious that he wrote this cover letter for Philips Consulting. Now look at this second one. I am a business developer seeking for a challenging role where I can employ my business writing skills and grow my knowledge base. What this one is looking like is someone that maybe he has the same cover letter for all his companies that he just copies and pastes.
Okay, that's true.
Can you guys hear me? Maybe because can you guys hear what I'm trying to say? So
Yes.
what I'm driving at is that forget the big grammar. Yeah, I like using big grammar sometimes. Forget the big grammar. This example one is showing is more passionate about Philips Consulting. He's showing that yes, I have interest in Philips Consulting. I want to work at Philips Consulting. That I might see this cover letter for Philips Consulting. But this second one is showing that he's looking for any role where he can employ his business. So if today now he gets Philips Consulting and tomorrow McKinsey come, actually everybody will leave, but let me say another example.
Oh my God.
And tomorrow CUC comes now. The example one might not leave Philips Consulting. He might say, oh, I actually want to work in Philips Consulting. But the second one, if you see CUC, you might just leave Philips to CUC immediately. You guys get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, true,
I think Dolapo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think the first one is better off than the second one, only in terms of the structuring. So the first one shows a structuring that is quite unique. Yeah, that is quite unique.
Yeah.
Rather than the copy and paste. Only in that sense, I will prefer the first one. But if I'm look at it from the angle of grammar and value, yeah, I don't really see much value in both the first and second one. I would say that the first one has a lot of grammar, a lot of words, a lot of big words. But I think they're fine. It's good to actually have that kind of structure, right? But you should be conscious of the value that you are actually letting out, the value that you want to you want your reader to see. So you should be conscious of that too, apart from the grammar and the structuring. So that's what I just think.
We can't hear you. Okay, thank you, Kelly. Okay, so just like Kelly has said, that the grammar. I don't like big grammars. I don't like it. So Dolapo, is still here? Hey, Dolapo.
I don't think he can hear you.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think we are good to go for CV now, unless there is any question. Hello, is there any question from anybody? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So I think we can go on YouTube now. Dolapo. What am I saying? YouTube, okay. CV. CV. Dolapo. Okay, so just talk and CV. Who will go first? Kelly, Inka, any one of you that wants to go first? You guys are on
Okay,
mute.
let me go.
All right.
So I think for most, like, how will I say it? Almost the same thing applies to cover letter, applies to CV. There's a structure too. And I think what I just want to add is I think we should learn to maximize, how will I say it, using Google or online resources. Because I feel like if you go online and you search for so many things, you see so many things about CVs. And I think for CV too, there are so many, how will I say it, perceptions. People have different things that, oh, this is how some people believe a particular thing should not be like this, a particular thing should not be like this. There's no general. There are some things that are not general for CV because like different HR personnels. But for me, I think if you want to apply for a particular company, if you can, I think first thing you should try to connect with somebody that has worked there or something and probably ask how the CV should look like because people have different, like one HR person may say this is how this thing should be, and one another person may say this is how it should be and all that. Then I think I said it already. I think that if you want to apply for a company, then I think one mistake that people make is they just do their CV and they just say, oh, this I've done my CV, or they use it to apply for anywhere. So most people pay like somebody to help them write CV, and once that person has written the CV for them, just start applying using that same CV to apply. Whether it's consulting, or whether it's investment management, or whether it's anything, they just apply with that same CV. I think that's wrong. I think for a CV to show that you're really specific about that company, you should look at like I think Tofi mentioned it already. The skills and skills that are specific to that role. Then you should also include that in your CV. You can have a how do I say? You can have a how will I call it now? Like how will I say, like something like an example or something that you can probably, it's not like maybe when you just want to apply for a position, you now
Sorry, Inka, your network is very bad. Lost you there. All right, sorry, Tofumi, can I come in? Tofumi is out too. All right, let me just come in. Sorry for the whole network issue. Let me just come in, please. Let me just start from this angle. Now, there are different kinds of CV, right? And why the CV we are talking of is CV that is peculiar to the finance space, right? So I've seen so many CV, right? I've seen so many people apply. I mean, CV that is related to tailor, yeah, CV related to let's say let's say teacher, yeah, you want to teach, yeah, you want to apply for the role of a teacher or a class teacher, right? So there are different kinds of CV, and I think I've seen a lot of CVs that come with so many designs. So um for this finance space or for the finance field, just note that your CV don't need any design. It has to be plain, like plain on plain, completely plain, black and white. Like it just have to be like that. Then you can decide to use some features of Microsoft Word that is bold, use lines and all stuff. So that's for that. And that thing I need you guys to know is that there is a general CV, right? And there's a tailored CV. So even if you are not going to apply, you're not ready to apply for any role, for any organization, you should know that you just have a CV. Even if it can be 5 pages, it can be 6 pages, it can be 10 pages. I mean, your general CV. Your general CV just have to be prepared. Like it has to be on ground. You should have everything you have done. Just have it on ground, right? So when you have that on ground, your general CV, when it comes to applying for a particular role, you then begin to pick out the important things that actually related to whatever role you are applying for, and you should note that you should know that you should be working with one page CV. Some actually collect, some will say 1 to 2 pages, right? But usually they always request for 1 page CV. So you should make sure that you actually scrap out those things that are not really necessary for that particular role, right? So you are considering the role they are applying. You're also considering the location. They are considering the location, the firm in particular. Because some firm, when it talks of Bank of America, it talks of Goldman, you should know how competitive it is, right? So you should know how you can make some edition, like edit some things, make sure that okay, I start picking out the most important things from your general CV. You should make sure that they are well aligned and there's a connection. Yeah, apart from there being a connection, it has to be in line with whatever role you're applying for. You can't have a CV and then there's just only one thing that is, though is fair, but it's not good to go. You can't have a CV and only one thing is related to the role you're applying for. It's not. It's not. I don't think you might get a positive response from there. You just make sure that you're applying for a particular. Most of the things you put out in your CV must be related to whatever role you are applying for. So it does don't really, yeah, don't necessarily mean how fine. Of course, you need to have a lot of qualifications You need to engage yourself in some professional courses, right? You need to engage yourself in also some curriculum, extracurriculum activities. But then you should, if you don't have it well structured, I don't think you might get what you want in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, Kele.
And yeah, Dolapo.
There's something that I wanted to even build upon. Say, one thing you said I wanted to build upon. Should
Okay,
I
let
go
me
ahead
just
now?
try. Yeah, let me just try to round up. Yeah. So I said something about having you're considering location, right? So fine, you're having your general, sorry about that. Sorry about that. You're having your general CV, right? And your general CV, most times we are all used to applying for a role, apply for a role in an organization within Nigeria. So you might not have Nigeria, though it's important. You might not have Nigeria, yeah, in your CV, or you might not have the states there. But just note that you are applying when you're applying for, you should be conscious. You should be conscious as to the location where you're applying for. You can't be applying for a role in a multinational firm, and you even went down writing um breaking everything down, the street and the town. This remember that the guys, these HR guys, they are collecting a lot of CV. So I don't think from this I don't think if this probably this personal. I don't think they would be searching for where exactly in Nigeria or where exactly in Lagos State. If it's Lagos State, fine. You just go straight Lagos State, Nigeria. It should be as simple as that. Then you should ensure that you should ensure you should include your the language, yeah, the language you speak, yeah, because when it comes to international or a multinational thing you're applying for, just walk through. You just be conscious of everything. And you should know that there is a structure. I don't know who will be taking the structure for now, but I don't know who will be taking the structure. No, Dolapo, will you be taking the structure, or Tofumi or Yinka? Hello, are you guys hearing me?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Dolapo, can you hear me, or Yinka? Will you be taking the
Yeah, I can
structure?
hear you. I can hear you. Okay, are you done? Sorry, like network kicked me out for a while.
Yeah, I was asking if you'll be taking the structure, so I won't say what you want to say.
Okay. But can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. You can move on, please.
Okay. Now, there's something I wanted to talk about. It's called CV writing thought process or CV writing process. It's actually the first thing that we should do before we write a CV. Yeah, Kenneth, you said something that I would have to disagree on. That even if you are putting extracurricular activity, I think you were saying, I didn't hear you clearly, but you were saying something about extracurricular activity not being the main thing. That you put something related to the film. Now, to be honest,
No.
I've
Sorry.
seen.
Hello, Dolapo.
Yeah.
I was like, you need to have a general CV and a tailored CV. General CV on ground, like in the sense that you have a list of everything you have done. You just put you might have 5 pages, 4 pages. You can have any pages you want to, right? But when it comes to your tailored CV that you are going to send to that particular company, you need to pick out the most important thing. Yeah, the most important thing. So you have your qualification, right? You have extracurricular activities, but you should also
Okay.
be mindful of how you structure it. So you might have all
Okay.
of that, you might not structure it well, and then you don't get a positive response. It's not, so
Okay.
you might have to consider that too.
All right. I get that. Now, the first thing that we should all do when writing a CV is the number one, and it's the most important, is research. Research about the firm. Now, I know it might be kind of hard. So that means every company you are doing, you must research before you write CV. But to be honest, that's what's going to differentiate you from others submitting CV. That's what's going to differentiate you from others submitting CV. I want to use an example now, a popular firm that we all know, Goldman Sachs. Now, I know someone that works at Goldman Sachs now, and I asked her that, well, wait, how did she get this job? Because to be honest, I don't know how she got the job. She graduated with a second class lower. That's number one. She did not do any ICANN, she did not do any ACCA, she did not write any competition, she did not write CFA, she did not do any CFA competition, and she got the job. And she was like, I should go to Goldman Sachs website and check what they see in fresh graduates. And when I checked, I was like, wow. Goldman Sachs is saying that they are not looking for experience, that they're looking for the willingness to learn and people that have gone through a lot of leadership experience, leadership activities. That they look for people that have leadership activities. And what did they say? That can they're talking about people that have leadership experience, people that have willingness to them, people that show commitment. And I'm like, they've not said anything about you having first class, you working in one company, working in another company. So when you're writing a CV to Goldman Sachs now and you're putting first class of accounting, then your leadership experience, you not put anything there. Under your work experience, you put you taught this, you taught that, and that was all. And there's someone else that is putting is a 2-1 there now, and it's showing that, oh, I managed a team of 30 to get something. I did that, I did that. What a CV is showing what is like is like um, a replica of yourself in a summarized version. So anyone, if Goldman Sachs is giving that kind of CV now, and I really someone that just did the first class and like, ah, this one does no good. To be honest, she was like that person that is writing a lot about the curricular activities and is showing a lot of leadership capacities would stand the chance of being called for an interview and do his research. Now, let me give an example now. McKinsey, for example, now, I know of McKinsey. McKinsey are after people that graduate, they are after the top 1% of your school. Although other people can still get into it, so I will not discourage a lot of people. Because myself, I'm not part of top 1% of my school, and I still want to get into McKinsey. But that's what they're after. So if you are applying for a job of like McKinsey now, and you did, you want to be putting things that have to do with education that would show that yes, you are a very brilliant person. That's what McKinsey is after, but that's not what Goldman Sachs is after. So if you're writing a CV of Goldman Sachs and you're submitting it to McKinsey, showing your extracurricular activities, and you don't put anything about your education there, you don't put anything about graduating with a 2-1 there, or a first class there, or doing any competition or writing CFA, to be honest, they might not pick you, and Goldman Sachs might pick you. That and those are two leading firms, but they have two different types of beliefs. They have two different types of know-how. So that's like the first thing that we should all do before we think of writing any CV or something to anybody. We go through the company. In fact, all these companies, they have everything. There's this JP Morgan now. They have something called biometrics tests. They will tell you everything. They will tell you the skills you need. And if you're not writing your CV now and you don't have those skills, and you're not putting those skills inside, you're putting what you don't need, and someone else is putting those skills, you can see that there's a big difference. I hope you guys can see him. I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah, I can hear you, Delaco.
We can hear you.
Okay. Don't let me talk too much because of time. But do you guys get what I'm trying to say now? That researching is actually one of it's the major thing. If you're not doing any research and you're writing a CV, you might not end up getting it.
Yes, sir.
So for me,
Yes.
you can go ahead. You can continue.
All right.
Okay. I actually don't know what to add because
Okay, I think I have
I've
something
actually
to add.
mentioned. Okay. Wait, Skelly, please.
Okay, all
Something
right,
else
all
came to
right.
my head. I remembered before, but I forgot. So thank God I remembered. So I'll say that when you are writing your maybe leadership experience or volunteer experience, you should be specific in your achievements. You shouldn't just write I was president of JCI. Okay, we know you were the president. What did you do? Like what did you do? And also you should be by being specific. This is what I mean. Maybe okay, let's say now you were in charge of recruitment for GCI. So you'd be like, okay, I led a team of 3 people to recruit for GCI. Then you can mention the number of people that applied, the number of people you interviewed. Maybe you are applying for an HR role. This will be more relevant, right? And the part of it leading the team too is also going to be relevant for every what's the name, for every role you get. So you should use action words. You shouldn't just say, I was a member of GCI. What did you do? You were attending meeting. Okay, we know you're attending meeting. What did you do? Like, what did you do? So use action words and be specific in your achievements. Use numbers, right? Use numbers. Yeah, so that's just what I want to add.
All right, thank you, Tofumi. Okay, this is what I want to add. So, none of us is perfect, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, right? So, there's one thing you should know. Find you might have the qualification, you might have the skills, you might have the extracurricular activities all written in your CV. You might even meet up job description in terms of the skills and whatever the qualification might be. But then, if your CV is loaded with grammatical error, I don't think you might get a positive response. So like I said, no one is perfect. So I think it would be a good thing if you share give your CV to someone to actually review it. Yeah, it might shock you how the person will quickly note some errors in terms of sentence construction, in terms of punctuation. Because your punctuation is actually also important, and there should be, yeah, just give your CV to someone to actually review. I mean, someone you trust, that someone that is also good with CV. That should help you to review it.
Someone that works in the company itself.
Yeah, if possible, just your friends. Friends that know that they can help out, point out
Yeah.
each mistakes or anything that you might need to correct. You know, no one is perfect, right? So you should ensure you give that, and there should be a unique, or yeah, there should be on your CV should be orderly written in terms of the capitalization, the capital letter, in terms of which you bold, which of the letters or words or situation you bold. There should be a flow. So you might have a CV, right? The name, of course, is expected to be in bold, right? And you might
Yes.
have the your school written like Obafemi University, Leife, bold. If you have icon, you're writing Institute of Chartered Accountant Nigeria, right? It should be in bold. So you should follow that order. If you're now having, if you're because okay, the way your CV is being structured, you have your education first. I mean, your university degree before you talk of professional qualification. Before you talk of experience, have the work experience. If I thought you have one, then before you begin to talk of leadership experience, then before you begin to talk of the volunteer activities, then awards and your skill set, right? So there should still be a flow. There should be a timeline.
Kelly,
Because you know that the timeline might be the right hand side or the left hand side, whichever. I mean, I actually prefer the timeline, the duration, or whatever your experience is on the left hand side. So there should just be a flow. If it's the ones you are going to bold, there should be everything should be done orderly. Not I just think.
Yeah.
okay,
So
Kelly, I wanted to add something to what Kelly says that we don't like misquote him or misunderstand him. When he's saying that you should put your skills, work experience, and everything, it's not compulsory. It aligns, it goes as name, work experience, skills, leadership opportunities, or the rest. There's something that it's called a 60 seconds test. Like now, recruiters, when they spend carry your CV, you need to like impress them in the first 60 seconds. If not, that's the end. That's I think it was I attended a workshop like that, and one lead HR said something like that. That it's not compulsory you put your name, your your name, sorry, okay, sorry, your name, your skills, your work experience. You put what you can leverage on, you put your strengths. That's what I'm trying to say. You put your strength. If you see that you're kind of person that you don't really have much work experience, but you have a lot of leadership experience, that should come before your work experience. If you're the kind of person that you have a lot of skills, let's say you've learned you have a lot of skills, like you've used Excel, you've done a lot of valuation, you've done a lot of competitions, yes. You that have done CFA competitions, CFO and the rest, that should come before your work experience. You leverage on what you need, but as you progress in life, now we are students. As you progress in life, as you're already working, that's when you can answer yes, your work experience should come first, because that's actually what you need. They need experience. But as a fresh graduate, work experience might not necessarily come first. It might be leadership that will come first. It might be skills that will come first. Just your strengths, your strengths. And I wanted to add something else again too, like not to take us back, just to emphasize on the networking aspects. Now, if we've done some research about all this consulting thing, you'll notice that Bain is a very, very deserved company. Like you don't really see their guidelines online. You don't really have a lot of direction online. I saw a link to one internship for Bain, but it was not in this country. Maybe that's why it's not even coming at all. But I saw the link to this and I'm like, how will I do my civil life everything? And I just remember that, oh yes, I know someone that works in Bain, Lagos, that we chat over sometime, although she did not say my number. And I messaged the person number and next day that how are you? That is Dolako. And yeah, and funniest part is that her name is also Dolako. So she remembered me immediately and I was like, we had the conversation a while ago that I'm actually applying for Bain internship now, and I want to submit my CV, but can you hear me go through my CV? And when I sent the CV to her, she was like, I must not submit this CV. She said this immediately, that I must not submit this CV, that I did not use action words. I did not use different things that I should not, because me, I was of the opinion that your CV should be one pager. And she was like, Bain does not is not concerned about your one page. That Bain is looking for 2 pages, that they collect 2 pages also. That so far you have a lot of detailed things there that has to do with your action, what like what you've done, and a little about your academics also. Bain likes leadership experience. That was she told me. That I should add that, I should add action, that should make my CV 2 pages. That should not necessarily limited to one page. That Bain will not care. And something like that now, assuming I did not know anybody from Bain, I don't know anybody from Bain, I don't know anything. And I just send my CV like that. Do you guys get what I'm trying to like amper on the networking issues again?
Yes, you are with you, Delapo.
Okay, and that's just what I wanted to say concerning that networking and me knowing people in the firm, submitting your CVs or cover letters to people in the firm before before you submit it, because those guys are the ones that have gone through the process where they know the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just have just one more thing. Just I don't know, just an ad, or you like say it's like an advice, or okay, like we like they say, or like we hear, when we are being taught something, we it is assumed that we don't know except we do it, right? So I'm kind of advising everyone that we should just write our CV, just write it to yourself and see. When you write yourself, you will see your picture in the paper you're writing your CV. So you should just see your picture. Just see your picture. Just write everything you've done. Assume you're applying for a particular role and put it on paper. So with that, you can access what you have done so far, and you can even it will even give you a head out, give you a guide on what you should improve on, what you should improve, and that will even help a lot of people. But a lot of people think they actually they find they've learned how to write a CV, but they are yet to do that because they think it's not the right time, or probably until when they get the job. It will shock you when it's time to get a job. You now want to write the CV, you find out that the CV is level up to half a page. I mean, it's not a good thing. So that would actually encourage you to do something, partake in extracurricular activities we like the, like they say, like involve yourself in curriculum activities, and do some professional courses. Just do something like just have a CV, because if they want to employ you for any role, this is the first they want to see is your CV, and they expect you to have CV, and they also expect you to have something there before you talk of them expecting something related to the role. So first of all, just write your CV and see a picture of yourself in whatever see a picture of yourself in a paper on a paper rather. Yeah, just what I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. So I think what Kelly and Dolakwa said that actually they're important. So I remember when I wanted to apply for an internship, I sent my CV to about 10 people, and they actually saw things I didn't see. Like you can't imagine how many times I've read my CV, but I still didn't see those things. So just common. I think I wrote Bachelor of Administration or something. And I was supposed to Bachelor of Science. Just that, like, and I've read it over and over again, and I didn't see it. So you should just send to people. Those professionals. Like now, let's say Audulapo sent a CV to the person working at Bain. What the person saw was the fact that Blackboard needs action words. Different people have what they are looking for in a CV, right? Like, let me give you an example. Let's say after the Lapo finishes and now sends it back to the person will look for that action words. And Lapo might have made a mistake in grammar, in punctuation, in some words. The person will not read, like, what? I'm just assuming now, like, the person will not read line for line and read carefully, like your friend. It may necessarily not be your friend. Okay, the people I sent it to the former vice president of SFC. I sent to the former president of SFC. I sent to the current president, the former president of Bowen Finance Society. I sent to a former member of a former executive of SFC. I sent to many people like that I know that they are going to read it for me like it's their own. So aside from sending it to people that are working in the company, you should send it to people that you know that will read it as if it is their own CV, right? So they are the ones that are going to see the grammatical errors. They are the ones that are going to see the word you are not supposed to use and the one you are supposed to use. So that's just what I want to add to it. So I think that's all. We've come to the end of this panel discussion. Let's take
Let's ask
question.
questions, so please. I don't know why we're
Yes,
not asking.
please
Because
ask
to be
question.
honest, we can't know what's on your mind. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
It's when you ask questions that we'll not be able to trust you. Shakwe, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Mm,
Yeah, all right. Thank you everyone for everything you have said. Okay. Fine. My question is about the headline on the CV. Like
yeah.
too many formats,
Sorry, I
like
didn't get the
different.
question. No.
He
No,
has
I'm
not
still on it.
started.
I'm not asking my question. I just started. Okay, so I see many TV formats like the headline. Like this one we have phone number, address, some we see address, some we see LinkedIn profile, something something. So like what are the things that are meant to be there? What's the best okay, like want to tailor it to like finance, like somebody that is applying for a role in finance company, like we are finance enthusiasts now. Like how do you want to put the headline and what are those things that are meant to be there? That's
Okay.
that's just
Okay. Okay. What are the things that are meant to be on CV that you've seen? You've seen a lot of structures before, right? That which one is the
no,
right one that we're supposed to follow for finance enthusiasts?
yeah.
Okay. First off, I would say that there is no standard structure that we're supposed to follow, but there are things that should be there, like the phone number, the email, and the LinkedIn. The LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile should be there. Please, it should be there. And even if you have a website, some people say you should have your website. So people have personal blogs, it should be there also. There is no standard format, but I dropped on the group now. We would send a sample to the group. The one that most you guys might have even seen it before, your OBEG. That's like
Yeah.
a standard format that most finance professionals give you if you ask them for a sample. Like even, I think it was Abraham Dosawa that sent this to me, said that I should use this to tailor my CV. So that's
Yeah. Let me, if you are done, I want to
yeah.
add something. I said when you
Go
are
ahead,
done,
go
I want
ahead,
to add
go
something.
ahead, go ahead now.
Okay, like I didn't know that it was even Abraham Bruce that sent to it. Like there was, I think last 2 years or last year, these people came to OAU, SEO Africa. Yeah, they came to OAU. They actually use your Obank CV to explain how to write CV to host.
Uh-huh.
So that template is very common,
So,
and
so for
it's
me, you have it
accessible.
right.
Yes, I do.
Please send it to the group, the induction group, so you can see how it's structured. But we're not saying that you should follow it word for word. Though. Please, even my CVs, I didn't follow your whole bank CV word for word. I didn't put. I think your whole bank put his work experience first. Did he? I think he did. I think he did.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think so.
I think he did. Before, okay, now my work experience is first now because I already have a lot of work experience I can put there. But before, I didn't put my work experience first. In case you don't have work experience, you're like yeah, Uber put his own work experience first. To you now put it. You now just put one short line there. It's not necessary. But just follow the templates. Your name, your address, your LinkedIn. And yes, about that address, please, it's very important. If you are applying for a job in Lagos, don't put Port Harcourt as your home address. Please, I'm begging you. Even if you are living in Port Harcourt, so far you know that if you get the job, you will try also and find it to stay in Lagos. Just put Lagos there. Because if you put, they use that when someone was telling me I was shocked, they use that to streamline people because you wonder how they would send they would release a job for that they would take 10 people and over 2,000 people will apply and they will only call 50 people for interview and you'll be like, what happened to the rest? How did they get streamed out? I think that they are not good. They use all these kind of things. They use your location to streamline people. If the job is in Lagos and you are putting Ibadan there and it's a very competitive role, they might not even call you for interview. So they use so that's one thing about the address part. Then your LinkedIn profile. Then if you have a blog, put your blog there, but it's not important. It's big people that used to have blog. Put your blog there. Then next there's a misconception about you adding a career profile or not. To be honest, you don't need a career profile unless if that from my view, let me use this from my view. A career profile is something about yourself, like a short sentence about yourself. You don't need this because we are still fresh graduates. Sorry, sir, we are still on Corona is making me think I'm already a graduate. We are still undergraduates. So you don't really
Stop
need
dreaming.
you don't really need a career somewhere now. It's when you've gone like now most of us have not decided where we are going to yet. Then having a career somewhere is not worth it. It's when we have said that okay, I'm going to be an investment researcher, I'm going to be a blah blah blah. That's when you can now have a career somewhere at the beginning. Let me give an example. I wish I could share my screen. I think Yahoo Bank has a career summary. Am I right too for me?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Oh, okay. Some CVs you will see career somewhere there. It's not necessary as an undergraduate that you've not achieved much. Then the next one should be your education. Yeah, your education should be the next one. Your education should be the next one. That's your apart from our university. And try to put, okay, let me put it like this. If you're on the first class, put your GP there. Put your 4.8, 4.7. If you're on the second class and you are above 4.0, put your GP there. Put 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. But if you're on the second class upper, but you're between 3.5 to 4.0, I'm talking based on what I feel and what I've heard from people. It's better you just put second class upper there. Because these guys are looking for ways that they can streamline people anyhow. Anyhow, they're looking for if they see that you if they are 20 people and they see that you blow your CV, they can easily use that to remove you. Oh yeah, this is your open CV. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tofumi. Your education, yeah, your project to achievement. This is something like, yeah, I think my one I use certificates. I put my certificates there, like ACA and the rest. Then your work experience. If you don't have a good work experience, you better you put your voluntary experience first or leadership experience before you put your work experience. Can you guys still hear me? We are going to round
Yes.
up now, just the question part. Then go
Yes.
down again. After leadership experience, then I think the skills is the next part.
Volunteer
Volunteer activities,
before
then
skills.
skills. If you are kind of that your skills are very, very that is skills you have, you can put your skills first. There was even one fun CV I saw recently. The owner is someone in student finance club. She did her CV was totally dynamic. I don't know if it's acceptable or not, but her CV was dynamic. This is how she did her CV. She didn't do any work experience or volunteer experience. She used her skills and interests to explain her work experience. She put
Wow.
the first one she put was Microsoft Excel. That was the first headline. Then she now put I worked with blah 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 with use of Microsoft Excel. She did that after Microsoft Excel. She put I think it was copywriting recruitment. Then she wrote about it. So like that was the first time I'm seeing a CV like that. Show that they're a CV with different structures. But if you are just looking for something that you can follow that will not have too much issues, this is one you can use. And Tofumi will send it to us.
I've sent it.
Any other question?
I don't think so. Since people did not, some people are not asking.
And
I
then
have
you can
something. I actually have
okay.
something to say, but
All
before I
right.
say that, I will want to stop the YouTube. Okay, let's just continue. Does anyone have a question? Do you have any question, please? Wait.
Shokpe, did
Am
we
I?
answer your question? I didn't even ask that.
Yeah, you guys perfectly. Like, thank you very much.
Okay.
Uh, okay. Hmm.
Since there's no question, we can call it a day now.
Yes, I actually want to say something. I don't know how many people started this meeting, but when I came, I saw. Oh, I'm still sharing my screen. Am I? Am I still
You
No,
are
sharing
you're
my
not
not.
screen?
sharing your screen.
You are not sharing your screen.
You're not.
Oh, okay. So when I
Ah,
came
my
to the
left.
meeting, I saw how many people? I think I saw 14 people. 14. I just want to give you guys a clarification that the fact that we we are doing this induction does not mean that everybody is going to be accepted into the club. I remember that during the first day, I made emphasis on common courtesy. Ask for permission. Inform people when you won't be available for meetings. I got a request for permission from just one person, and we have less than 10 people on this call. I know that some people came in, light issues and all those things. But I'm just saying it so that it won't be a shock to anybody. The fact that you are doing this induction does not mean that the fact that you're doing the induction actually means that you'll be accepted into the club. I'm just talking in case of the other people that didn't join this induction. There are some people that have not joined since the beginning of this induction. I'm just looking, but I just feel I should just say it so that it won't come as a shock to anybody. That's just it.
Thank you,
Tomorrow.
Tofumi. Someone has a question, I think.
Okay.
Adeboye, what's up?
No, it's not really like a question. It's as regards what Tofun just said, like about
Okay.
Okay.
um, attendance or turning up. So I think where the issue lies is that, like on the first day, it's not everyone that's actually aware that there is something like a punishment or something for not being in it. So I think you people should make it known on WhatsApp group so that at least those that are not aware, people do some people do not know for like there are punishment or whatsoever for not being available in meetings. So I think that people are just coming in for the first time. So if you can try to make it
Okay.
available on WhatsApp, so that
I
would be better.
know. I will, but even if I didn't say it, I'm not even talking about the rules and regulation of the club now. I'm talking about common courtesy. Really, you don't need to tell someone to ask for permission to not come for a meeting
As in,
or to
Yes, actually,
come
I
late for
was
a
I
meeting.
was
I
going to
don't
say
need to tell
something.
anybody to do that.
we don't have to tell you. Like,
I
you're supposed
don't
to
need
ask
to
for
say
permission.
It's just like you using all your strength to get a job. A job.
exactly.
When you
I
now
don't
get the
need to say
job, you are
it.
now coming this to work.
Did
Nobody
I
will
say they
tell
don't
you
tell you
anything.
that they not tell you that you cannot come late?
So even if I drop it on the page now, anybody that didn't see it before that sees it today doesn't mean that the person is already out of the punishment or something. If you come just tomorrow, one day out of four, I won't take it all. And I know that what you just said, I can't remember the name of the person I just spoke. I know that some people are not aware, but I don't need to tell, like, we don't need to tell someone that if you won't come for a meeting, you should inform the organizers or the what's the name, the people that are in charge, right? So we don't need to say that, but I'll still drop it on the page, yeah.
I don't
But
think you
still,
should drop it actually, personally.
No, we're
Because
not dropping anything.
because
We're not.
it's
Uh-uh.
supposed to be like this. You went through the stress of writing an essay. You went through the stress of so we're not dropping it actually. It's just the same thing of applying for a job, doing interview. Then when you now get the job, you're now coming late to office, or you're doing on and off, saying that they should tell you that you're not supposed to come late, something like that. So I don't even feel we should drop,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you can still drop it if everyone
I won't
feels
drop
you
it
should
though.
drop it.
Since you
Actually,
said I shouldn't
no,
drop it,
that
I
is
won't
my
drop it.
opinion. Others can
Yes,
still
I
you can
accept
still
your
let
opinion.
Yeah,
I
I
won't
also
drop it.
support. I'm not dropping anything. We should not drop it.
Yes, I accept your opinion. I won't drop it. I didn't even want to drop it before. Okay, so we've come to the end of the meeting. Tomorrow we'll be having what's the name? A review on market updates, like how to give our market update. Like I said on the first day, how to give our market updates, what you should do, the kind of news you should look for, why you are looking for the news, everything you need to know about market updates tomorrow. So we'll be having someone speak to us tomorrow on that. We
and
will get to meet tomorrow. Like, I wanted to say something.
yes, I want to say that please that we should try not to miss tomorrow's market updates because
Yes,
to be honest, it's like a
please.
basics for SFC. If you don't know how to do market updates, you'll be lost
You'll
most
be
of the time
lost.
at the beginning of our meeting.
You'll be lost.
Like let me give you guys my own experience.
Y'all.
I joined SF. I missed the induction totally, and the first meeting I joined, I was like, "What are these people saying?" Like I was totally lost. So you should try to not to miss tomorrow's market updates, so you'll be able to understand everything.
Okay.
Finally, they
Thank
got to
you,
check.
Delapo.
Okay.
Thank you, Delapo. Okay, so in the absence of another question, we have come to the end of today's meeting. Thank you so much for joining. I enjoyed today's session and I hope you did too. So if you have any further question, you can feel free to enter any of our DM. But don't start with hello if I don't have your number. Thank you. Have a good night rest.
Please, you can leave the meeting now. Hello. Delacroix has gone. Okay. Wait, hope you guys can hear me. Aliu, Yinka,
Hold on, Kelly. I want to stop
Alright.
streaming.
Okay.
Kelly, how far? I think we're the only ones on the corner. We can start.
No,